What if I sang a song that is something that you'd expect? What if I sang to you, but didn't make it a duet? I don't know, I've got nothing for this one yet. Let's get started. Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking. Welcome back to another episode of... So yes, as you can tell from the description, I am looking forward to this one. Because even though we had a heart-to-heart last episode answering my possibly biggest question of the entirety of the Music Freaks, I'm pretty sure the actual proper answer is going to come here, because last time was a little bit of a deflection, at least on Hailey's part. If you don't know what I'm talking about, of course, there is the original episode and the review itself for your consideration. But yes, we have returned. Another month has passed, another hiatus that has been left, and a cliffhanger that shall be lifted. And this was actually a request specifically from Aidan today, because I was actually going to do this like I was thinking of doing this on Friday, I think, but then Aidan mentioned, hey, should we do this on Monday? And I rapidly changed what I was going to do. Because I was like, yeah, absolutely. I can wait until the proper moment, so to speak. And that proper moment seemingly is now. And despite the fact that this is no longer a Butter Bunch series, it seems that not only is Aidan here, but also BB has joined us, so it kind of resembles it. But oh well.
Hello, I don't know if anyone can hear me. I can't hear anybody, that's for sure.
Lol.
Internet's
Hello,
a bit wonky
hello,
right now. Hang
hello.
on.
Is there any?
Let's bad talk BB why she can't hear us. Oh man, BB sucks. She's the worst. Oh, she's so evil. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
she's not a real blonde. She's a fake blonde. How dare she not be a real blonde?
I know, right? So at one point she was a silver as well, also a fake silver. I mean, come on, just wait 70 years. How difficult is it?
God.
Okay, there we go, baby. Now I can hear everyone and see
we
chat.
totally weren't bad talking you while you're gone. We would never do that.
Oh, okay.
That'd be mean.
Hold on. I got to just chat. Have I just the shirts in the background that calls of Alvin and the Chipmunks? No, but now I can't unsee it. There they are, I suppose.
Okay, I call dibs on Theodore.
Sure, okay, they're all my size, but fair enough.
BB is no, you're Simon Jacob.
There is literally the
Alvin.
Chipettes, and you're gonna fit me into one of the chipmunks.
Oh yeah. Well,
are
okay.
the Chipettes on display here? There are no options other than the Chipmunks.
They have the same colors, don't they? I swear
no,
they have the same colors.
I didn't know that. Well, they have lighter versions of the same colors.
Man, shut up. That's the same color.
No, we have pink, light green, and light blue. Yes, they're basically
okay. So
colors.
there's a pink now. Oh wait, that's right. Pink is in the same family as red. Shut up, Aidan.
Yeah. Well, it's not.
It's red with extra white. Yeah.
They're different colors. So, listen, I'm just saying there's 3 of us here and we got to fit ourselves in the chipmunks roles.
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I suppose. I mean, I'm already wearing red, so I kind of just distort. Oh, wait, I'm wearing blue as well. I'm a fusion.
Yeah, no.
Oh, and guess what?
more,
Actually, hang on. My trousers are green. So I'm all 3 put together.
God, you're the newest chipmunk.
I have become the ultimate chipmunk fusion. Fear me.
You know what I find weird though? They're in love with.
Oh wait, that was the wrong side.
I meant to do it this way. Fear me.
But they're in love.
Once all 3 of them combine, they finally get a regular voice.
No, but here's the thing: the chipmunks are in love with the chipettes, but the chipettes are quite literally just gender-bent versions of them, which is weird.
No, totally, yeah.
It's weird, and sometimes they treat them like siblings. Sometimes they treat them like love interest. It's so weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
know
they
actually
can't
quite
make up their
like that.
mind what they're meant to be.
I bought. So Jack recently released 2 of his new comics for pre-order. Finally bought one of them today. By finally, I mean this is the first day they're out. I was 2 hours late.
Wow,
finally,
BB,
you know,
fake
I
fan,
just
fake fan. I see
the
how
long
it
wait.
is.
I thought we both like went into 2 different directions of mockery, like,
Fake fan.
but both equally valid.
But no, I did get it. I initially was gonna get it digitally, but because the cover was limited edition and I liked the cover more than the other 2, I was like, well.
So there's that.
The other comic I get on like actually stay on like digital, but
All right. Anyways, more chat before we begin. So, looking to enter the Music Fix universe, eh? Oh, I've seen many a traveler go in there and none return.
Are you a boy or you a girl?
There's constant shipping material.
Well, that's just every series at this
Eyeless
point.
freaks. And language that was dated the moment the video released. We commented on
Yeah.
that last episode in case anyone's confused about that.
I mean, I don't
Particularly
mind
Millie as
data
well.
language. Listen, I don't mind data language in my stuff. I think it's kind of cool, but also in the case of the Music Freaks, we have a nebulous time period. We don't know when it takes place. I'm guessing sometime
it depends
2010s
entirely
or
on the
20
context.
wrote
I mean, if
for you to tell you I stand, trying to turn you from my
dated
baby.
language is generally not all that great. But if it's like an old movie, then whatever, who cares? Or if it's a movie where it really
yeah, but
tries
it
to
could be
take
like a
itself
time
into
cancel. Time capsule.
anyway, so it can be a really old movie, or it can be like a movie that really takes its setting seriously. Like I know a lot of Tarantino movies will have certain words in them that definitely aren't like all that great, but
Oh, I've been
you
watching
know.
True Blood, and it's from the early 2000s. So
Oh, sorry, I thought you were trying to say
R-slur.
True Blood was directed by Tarantino or something. I was like, wait,
No,
really?
no, R-slur, F-slur.
The two things collide.
There are a lot of stereotypes. I'm enjoying it somewhat, but I'm also a sucker for supernatural drama, and I could see the early 2000s bleeding out of it. It's like, oh my god, or late
Yeah.
2000s, I guess. It would be late.
Might
2000s.
I recommend Supernatural High for you then? In fact, doubly recommend it because it's my understanding that Johnny is currently working on a Supernatural High crossover with one of the pops. I can't remember if it was Disco or Ballroom, one of the two.
Maybe, but yeah. So
was-
yeah, no data like listen. Okay, certain data language like slang and stuff could be cool. Is kind of cool. Also, when you think about it, think about it like this. Yeah, it's recent to us now. Jump to 20 years from now, and people are gonna be like, "Wow, this like I don't know, 2010s language is so authentic to the time period because it was made in said time."
Well,
period.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but I don't know if that. Yes, it's the same thing, but it's not the same thing in the moment. You know.
It depends. It depends whether or not like a future audience will be able to identify the difference between, the difference between, oh, this is just a word that everyone just used casually, but wasn't, like a new addition to the lexicon at the time, and they've just forced it in, versus if they can tell this was a "how did you fellow kids" moment, 20
yeah.
odd
I
years
mean, I
down
guess
the line.
it depends.
It will depend. Yeah.
Depends on an execute, but I mean, I quite like modern day slang in projects.
Well,
Sure,
in
modern
that
day
case, I do
slang
not
is very
I-
different than outdated slang, though.
In that case, don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't recommend reading Lord of the Rings for you then.
Okay. I mean,
yeah, they just make their whole language, though, Jacob.
I mean, but
no.
But...
I don't mean that. I mean like the specific, like the specific like wording choices that really emphasize the books were written in the 40s.
Oh.
Not like the actual
yeah.
original languages and such, because that's a whole different matter.
I mean, I also like when like time travel stories involve like future slang. Like, I actually really like that. Like, I think like Flash season 5 did a lot of it. Where with Honora, like saying a bunch of like random future slang that like was a thing, which I actually really like that because it actually gives more of a difference between the future and the present, you know?
I will say, yeah, that's
The
that
example
kinda
that I
goes
got for some
into
reason
one
was
of
a
the
Clockwork Orange. That wasn't a future, so
That's
was
not time
totally example.
travel.
would
That's a
say-
prison.
It's like
would say,
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure it was like a
that's one
future
of those.
dystopia. So
Yeah, that's one of those things from the Dune movies that I've heard quite a bit about because I do hear like behind the scenes they had like an actual linguist that had to get taught the Dune languages, and then that linguist would then teach the crew just like a bunch of the language and all the like the dialects and stuff, which is super
yeah,
cool. That's
I
neat.
mean, we've played around with that idea sometimes. Like not to like a huge extent, but we have decided like there's like different things that will be that they've mentioned like a spin on negative Nancy, for example. I'm not gonna say exactly what the spin-off was because then that will give away which show I'm talking about. But but we have done a couple of those things in the past.
I mean, we've also
About the
introduced our
future.
own
Yeah.
future social media companies and puppy love.
Well, since we're mentioning
Well, not
Puppy
to
Love
get too much
specifically, that was the
details.
show I was talking about.
Oh.
So yeah, Temper Tracy
It was
is not
pretty-
an actual expression. So so Negative Nancy was the play there, basically.
I mean, it's
So, yeah.
pretty obvious puppy love's in the future. We don't have that many mutants, and mutants tend to be like the mutant surgery and stuff has not been touched upon in the mutant girl. Like, it's a
well-
big deal that Reyna got turned.
It really does depend. We haven't got to the point where people are starting to theorize about like where the placement of everything yet. So
I mean, it's just not in the present. It's not mutant girl fallen angels time period. It's past that.
yeah,
Which, you know,
it's past that.
Yeah,
into the
I will
future.
say
Yeah, we just don't know.
I don't
specifically
think
where.
I don't think
Yeah.
the mutant thing is as good of an of an evident point as you think it is, because we as the creators acknowledge that it is rare, and we have stated that it is rare. Here's the problem: we keep doing mutant stuff, so the audience doesn't know it's rare. It doesn't matter how many times we say it, because relative to their eyes, they keep seeing it, so it can't be that rare. That's one
I
of those
did
things that I want to
actually-
try and do less, because I don't like how often we do it, because I feel like it does give a false
Well, in the
representation of
case of my shows, I've only introduced one mutant character being Harvey. I don't think I've had any other mutant characters be a part of the
It's
cast,
still
or be
one
even
mutant
a background
though.
character.
With the rarity that we've been implying, it's like
I do, yeah.
Like,
I
it's
do have
not a lot,
another
but it
mutant
is for the
character
viewer.
that is pending for. I don't have another mutant character I've got to introduce next episode of Watch Academy, but yeah. Again, it depends.
Watch
on how
Academy's all
sparingly.
future. Just noting
Yes.
that it's in the future, so
Okay, fine. Yes, it is also in the future.
there would actually be. Wouldn't there be more mutants in Alpha Watch Academy actually? Because
Potentially, although this is still episode 3, there's plenty of time to introduce more characters in the
Yeah.
future if the need arises, which it probably will because.
I want to introduce a bee mutant.
Okay.
Hey,
Bee
Apple
mutant
Mutant first,
must
man.
be
Apple Mutant
introduced.
first.
I got a question. I don't think Apple Mutant can actually exist. I mean, the mutants we know.
Sure
are
it can.
either
Hold on,
based off
no, yes it
mythical-
can.
No, Apple.
Okay,
no,
the way that we
mutants-
established those was based on like the Garden of the Hesperides as a whole different process. It's not like the same kind of mutation that we're talking about in the Butterverse as up until right now.
Well, even
Yeah,
then,
because,
I mean,
like-
if you really want to get
like, we have,
technical,
like,
we could
dealt with-
have casual banana mutants if we really wanted to get with it. Because, like, you got to think about what our, like, real life human DNA is tied to and how it ends up connecting to a weird amount of things in our world. I'm sure we could make all kinds of food-based mutants if we really wanted to.
You've also got to bear in mind like how it manifests. It manifests through phenotypes. I mean, just because we share 50% of our DNA with bananas does not mean we have banana phenotypes anywhere.
Yeah,
That's the key difference.
Keep in
there.
mind, all
Sure,
the mutants
but, you
we've all the mutants that we introduced at this point have been animal or mythical creature based. Well, even quote unquote mythical creature based isn't necessarily true.
Those mythical
because, like,
creatures were already based on animals. Yeah.
yeah, mythical. Yeah, so because like Morwenna's technically a lizard, but dragon. But like just a big lizard is technically a dragon. Because like we had the kimono dragons and stuff. So. And those aren't mythical creatures; those are just animals. So it depends on
That's the real reason
It would be
Dysart took a
realistic.
liking to her, because it was kimono dragon.
That's just Aidan's pronunciation. It is Komodo with a D, but okay.
Oh, I can't pronounce crap. Okay.
It's fine. It's a very rare island. There you go. That's how it's spelled. I'm pretty sure.
Komodo, not kimono.
Yeah.
Okay. Seeing the word helps me visualize it better.
Fair enough. Wasn't the case for Muella, but we'll ignore that for now.
We love Muella May. No, wait. What would be the weird way to pronounce the May?
I don't know. It's one syllable. You'd have to, really
Muella
try.
Ma.
Or just my or something.
Muella Mai there.
Yeah.
Although Mai could have been. I mean, Mai isn't a bad last name.
If you think about it, I mean, if you go
Mai.
like MAI, Mai from Dragon Ball and May from Avatar: The Last Airbender are spelt the same way.
I mean,
Which
I was
always
about to
messes
say
me up when I
Mai
read the
isn't a
comics.
bad last. Yeah, Mai's definitely not a bad last name because it exists in the real world. It's just not one that you would find very often in America.
True. I mean, I will say last names are kind of strange in general. Like listen, my last name is Dwayne.
It's not like
I thought you said Dwayne for a second there.
Literally strange. His name is not Aidan Strange.
No, it's not.
Yeah, he's a
I'm
descendant
actually
of,
Doctor
Doctor
Strange's
Strange.
cousin. I'm Doctor Strange's cousin. Aidan Strange. Yeah.
Yes,
No.
all right.
No, I'm just saying my name. Okay. My name.
I think we need to start the video.
I'm not gonna word. I'm not gonna wording it. It's not at Strange. It's just weird. Yeah, it's weird. There. And it's not. Caca.
Sing with me.
I'll be honest. When I
okay,
actually
sure.
started this,
What a start.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
We're starting at the cliffhanger for
I
feel like-
he
I feel
starts
like
the
if-
thing and
yeah,
he's
if a
already
lot of
yelling.
people-
He's yelling at me.
I feel like if a Music Freaks, the average Music Freaks fan was in this situation instead of Hailey, and Jake came up to their door and said, "Sing with me," they'd be like, "Oh my goodness, yes, I want it." But yeah.
Man,
Okay,
we
so
zoomed
when
in
this
to a full front shot. He's staring down the cameras and is literally demanding things of me. I think we need to go on a date.
POV shot. It's a POV shot, which something we can't do in our normal gacha, unfortunately. I wish we could do front
not
face,
a POV shot.
It's
That's
Hailey's
not a POV
POV
shot at all.
It's Hailey's POV, and now we're looking from Jake's
I think she's a bit
POV.
far.
Okay, so
I
maybe
don't
it
know if I
wasn't
buy
the
that
best
as a POV.
composed POV shots.
I don't know.
Bad artistry.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, that reminds me. We do need to bring out the bingo today because I feel
yeah.
like Music Freaks kind of inspired a lot of the bingo positions. So while I do that, I'm just gonna say because I paused it here because actually I thought because whenever I load these videos, you know when you like load a new YouTube video, it takes a couple of seconds before it lets you pause it. So I'd seen like the first like 1 or 2 seconds of this before I was able to pause and then get the hyperlink and whatever. So because of that, I just had an image because of the other way that this was framed that Jake was about to like break into song at this precise moment. Like it was going to be the first like cold opening of a musical number. Because I think the only times that's happened in Music Freaks episode have been diegetic so far. Then again, maybe it also would have been diegetic and he would have like, Jake, shh, it's the middle of the night. People are going to notice.
This is a process that I think most people in the Butterverse are well aware of, KW.
What is the process? Can you read out the comment for people because I can't put it on screen right now?
Yeah, sure. I didn't spell his name wrong, Bon. I told you. I told Aidan Lore that we compromised on what to add and remove to make it better, and then Aidan writes most of it and leads to bad grammar.
See, here's the thing. When Aidan and I write things together, it's usually the opposite. Unless it's like Mutant Girl, in which case it's kind of both of us. But if it's like Four Names or something, that's the thing. Normally, I'm the spell checker and, grammar provider and such.
Listen, I try with grammar. I'm just not good at it, okay? I've been working on my punctuation. That's been something I've been emphasizing recently. And
I've been working on my elementary grade grammar
Hey, look,
for
I have
everyone.
noticed more of it when I've checked the Fallen Angel scripts.
Listen, when you write like
I'm
a
so proud of
20,
you,
when
man.
you
We
write,
need to add
when
a
you
gold star on
write,
your
when you
board.
write like a 40-page script, sometimes there's a lack of punctuation.
Just in case
Yeah, when you
anyone is
write like a
watching this
fourth
and
grader.
doesn't do gacha shows, what Aidan means there is the script overall for like the series itself. Like one season will eventually
My
out 40
seasons are like over
pages.
100 episodes, but depends on like that's like 40 pages, like 3 episodes. Fallen Angels.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I was
It's
saying.
a
I
chunk
don't
of
want to give
episodes.
the impression that, you know, for somebody who watches us to, you know, heaven forbid, get ideas like how to make a gacha series. So if that's the case, then then they just want to give the impression that they have like a 40-page script in order to, you know, use that
No.
idea, because people already hesitate about using scripts to begin with. That's one of my
Nah,
big things.
it just depends on how long it is. Like some episodes, Fallen Angels actually do hit like 20 something pages, but those are like the big event episodes, like season finales and episode 6, season 2, are like big examples of episodes that end up being very long because there's just a lot happening in those episodes.
Oh, speaking of long episodes, actually, in the description, well, in the description of last episode, rosyclosy promised lots of more drama in these episodes going from 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So I presume includes 11, but that's not what I mean. In the script of this episode, she actually says that this was the longest episode to date, which I could have counted.
The longest episode, I think, in
so.
total is actually the season finale, which is 40 minutes, I believe. I think that's like
Well,
the
I mean,
episode.
she wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, I know.
At the time of writing.
It gives me vibes like, you know, when Aphna put in the description of one of her episodes, like I would think it was like not too late. Crap. What do you know about me? Part 2. It was in the description. She's like, this is the
my
longest
favorite
episode to
episode.
length. Yeah. Dang, you just love the drama. You're a drama queen.
Let's
Make a song
Or,
called Drama
yeah.
Queen. But yeah, but of course, that's the thing. I think we've done that. We've put it in the description. We've said that verbally at times. Like I think I said that back when season 2 episode 12 came out. It's like, this is the longest one yet. How could it possibly be? And then season 3 episode 1 was like 6 minutes more.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, people?
Well, to be fair, it was also a season opener, and normally season openers either tend to be slightly longer because you kind of have to catch everyone up at where the characters currently are in between seasons. Because
it depends, because the season 2 opener wasn't really that long. It's because season 1 opener was actually meant to be like Act 1 of a movie, so that's why it was as long as it was. Otherwise, I would have definitely shortened it. I'm not counting season 1's opener because that was 9 minutes now, because I didn't know what I was doing yet,
ever
so,
since
yeah,
I like started helping with the writing of the Mutant Girl, like there's just been more going on in each episode. Like if you go back to season 1 of the Mutant Girl and even early season 2, there isn't much going on besides like a central focus. Like it's kind of a straight line versus there are no B plots or like multiple storylines and episodes. Like you start to get that in early season 2, but not that much till like
I was definitely not ready for B plots yet at that time.
Back half season 2 ramps up, and then season 3 is probably the peak where you have like a lot more storylines and a lot more going on. It gets a lot more complicated plot wise, I would say, than season 1 as a whole.
Well, that was
season 1 is semi straightforward, which nothing wrong with that. But like, oof. And being straightforward for a first season, what? I'm just being
just the way you phrased it. I agree with you. Just the way you phrased it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I tend to like extremely complicated stuff. Again, Fallen Angels, I write very complicatedly on purpose because I love complications.
Ironically enough, I'm responsible for a lot of that stuff because you add me for the philosophy.
I have your help, okay?
I also enjoy quite a bit of complicated media.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
This is why Ed and I work together so often for gacha stuff, by the way.
Yes. Anyways, baby, you're saying something?
I already finished my sentence.
Oh, never mind. I don't know. I thought baby was saying something. Anyways, you want to continue on? So we just.
I'm just briefly checking the chat just to make sure. That I don't know. Apparently, people are talking about Psycho, the AI gacha series. Actually, I just thought of Psycho, the Lily Trescott series, which definitely wasn't AI because it predates most of that software.
Well, predates common use of AI, technically.
I suppose, yeah. Although I sincerely doubt that Lily Trescott was using it back in the day. But yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I've particularly. I guess it's saying that because the other Psycho series we watched, one that I put AI in the title for, I guess has just vanished now. So, how many bits of Gacha review stuff have now become lost media?
I mean, the Gacha review should just be called Gacha review and archive.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I you know what? I'd do a playlist of there's just
Discontinued Gacha.
Yeah, or just original no longer exists, so I can include this series and mini movies or something, and just yeah, have that be the archival place. I'll do that later. Okay. Well, oh, there you go. Sorry, I was not looking at I was scrolling up through the chats. Didn't see that, Vaughn. That's 2 already. Okay. Lost media Gacha. Yeah. One more to get a bingo square. I still have the file for Time Switch by MimiXD. I remain the sole possessor of that. I thought at some point of making that like a more Gacha from Jacob re-upload or something, and just specifying to go to Lady Trescott's channel, not Lady Trescott, MimiXD. Gosh darn it! Yeah, I'll specify the right person. I've considered that in the past, but I've never gone through with it. Anyway, we have the bingo now, so let's continue on.
What?
Sing with me for the competition, Hailey.
By the way, I just want to remind people that Jake got a lift back home and then walked all the way back here, kind of negating the point of that the same night.
no.
You're joking, right?
No.
I'm serious, Hailey. We could perform a duet. We'd sound great together, don't you think?
Jake, we have less than 2 weeks until the competition. We can't just
Okay,
change our
noted.
plans so suddenly.
Oh,
Have you
come
never
on,
seen
why not?
School of Rock? They changed the song that they were going to do the moment before they go on stage, and the poor technicians had to adapt and
I mean,
improvise.
I will say the thing that bugs me about the series is all the songs they practice, they never actually do it. Like we literally.
I meant the movie, but sure, the series as well.
Well, no, I was referencing the music breaks. I haven't seen it for School of Rock.
Oh, sorry. Okay, because I mentioned School of Rock, then you said the series, and School of Rock does have a series adaptation from it. But
no, yeah. I've never seen School of Rock. But
okay,
yeah, but like I hate how they always we see practices, but said practices never actually go anywhere because they don't actually use said songs in any of those practices. So what I personally would do if I was making the series is instead of showing like them actually performing a song and making it a music number, just like have the voice actors like maybe see like Jake working on a vocal warm up, or it's like, you know, maybe like a song, like look up songwriting vocal warm ups and like have like put that in the script and just have like the VA just use that. Or like, you know, and then maybe like see like, I don't know, Sean on his computer and.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say the vocal thing that works for Jake and possibly Hailey. Everyone else, I suppose, you'd have to get them like tuning their instruments or playing like parts of the instrumental keys. And again, this is the problem with this being a mostly jukebox musical, because you can't really, most of the time there aren't very available separated instrumental versions for one instrument of every
some
single
songs
song.
Are like some songs and no copyright sounds actually do. For example, like she uses some of
I
those.
mean, I mean, sure, but you know that depends on whether or not that song is actually fitting for the series. We've been talking about that at length.
Yeah,
I also want to say that the School of Rock musical is great.
Yeah, I haven't seen. That's the one School of Rock thing I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen the movie. And
I recommend it. It's so good. Oh, I have Stick to the Man on my Spotify playlist.
That makes sense. All right.
I bet we could do it in time, and you know the other guys would love for us to sing together as well. I'm sure Sean.
Once specifically just playing around with the songs and the competition rolls around, they work on a specific song, and that's the one we haven't actually heard. Maybe I do know that bands do rehearse like random songs a couple of times just to not get bored partially.
Jake, slow down. Look, it's not an awful idea, but we just perfected our performance song. Changing up things now just worsens.
It's free real estate.
I will agree. Yeah.
No, it's the moths attracted to the light. That's what everybody's entering right now.
I
chances of
always
a pair
kind of
of
hate scenes like this because it's always like, do they have a dog or something? Like, is someone gonna shut that door?
I feel like if they did have a dog,
They don't have a dog, to my knowledge. Jake has a dog, canonically. I think it was on
yeah.
his
Oh,
Instagram
that's-
post.
And an original memberships gift. Apparently, the dog's called Oreo.
Yeah, but no.
But anyway, yeah, if
Haley and her
had a
family doesn't
dog,
have
I
a dog,
feel like
canonically.
yeah,
We would see it, or at the very least, hear it at some point, like hear it bark in the background.
well, yeah, episode 6 and part of 7 did take place at Hailey's house, so yeah, pretty much. And again, if they did have a dog, then this would not be a common practice anyway. People close doors? I'm the opposite. I close all the doors. I very rarely have an open one.
best.
Oh. I know, I get it. I don't want to jeopardize our chances or anything. I just thought, well, it would be really great to do it with you.
You're wrong.
It doesn't
Okay, so again, he's saying duet, but the way that he pronounces it. Anyway.
feel right to sing without you.
That's nice, but I'm really not bothered about it. You're the natural star after all. You should take the spotlight.
But didn't you want to take the lead in singing for the competition yourself?
I mean, if she did, she wouldn't have recruited you, but, you know,
Yeah,
ignoring that for now.
Not particularly.
that gets explained later.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Right,
that's the reason I'm
she's-
excited for this episode.
Oh, wait, no, his ride's still there. His ride's just been sitting there. His ride's just been sitting there. Like, stop talking to your girlfriend and get in the car.
She's the Emperor Palpatine of the music freaks.
If I wanted the spotlight, I could have it for myself.
Nah, that's Xander. Xander's Emperor Palpatine.
I'm now just picturing like Palpatine trying to do like a. Actually, you know what? Palpatine would be an interesting singer, but he'd have like the setup of like just himself and a piano or something. It's a show-stopping number.
A real
showstopper.
showstopper.
A show-stopping number. Come on.
Oh,
I think
you know what?
when-
Actually, for lighting, I
He
could
gets the
totally
working
see him
boy
like
is the part
using.
of that, and then like takes off the robe and starts like dancing.
I-
5 o'clock can't come soon enough. 5 o'clock can't come soon enough.
He shoots lightning
Dude,
to light up the
Palpatine's
stage.
using his like force lightning to shoot up at the sky and cause the lighting, like the spotlights to come down.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so
Actually,
cool.
that would be really cool. I kind of wish Star Wars actually played around with Force lightning and actually using the power things. Kind of like how Avatar did with Legend of Korra. Have the lightning benders use their lightning.
I mean, that did kind of get a bit overused in Korra, to be perfectly honest.
Well, yeah, but it's still a cool concept to show how, So, kind of like how Earthbenders, bend their cities in, both series. Mostly Avatar Last Airbender.
The city benders.
This-
Well, still Earth, but yeah.
Mhm. I'm curious now, those special bracelets Hailey's wearing, like, are they friendship bracelets or just normal bracelets?
I think just normal
Bracelets
bracelets.
can't really anymore.
In the case of Hailey, I just think it's the fact. I just think how people just put stuff on their Gacha characters. It's just design aspects.
Hold on, thank goodness you didn't see the original version of Psycho the Creator made. That one had no AI, and it was way worse the version you saw. That old version included Stockholm Syndrome. It's sad when people have to use AI in order to prop themselves up, make their thing objectively better. But anyway,
I don't know. I mean, I would prefer.
Yeah,
I would
but
prefer.
at least that would have had.
I would
human
prefer it to
art
be
to it.
worse and not have AI than be better and have AI. If AI art gets to the point where it's flawless and amazing, I would rather have a series that has way worse art but no AI. Just personally, because I don't.
I
like
genuinely think that there's going to be a good chunk of society that if AI took over, a good chunk of society would look out specifically awful films just to get the human touch.
fair enough. Yeah, or potentially films that were made before, I don't know, the past couple years, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
I still can't get over the fact that Disney used AI in Secret Invasion. for the intro.
They used it in so many things, man. At this point, Disney's all in for it.
Didn't they use it for background characters too in like a sports film or something?
Yeah,
Or like a sports
that
TV
was actually
show?
one of the
Or like a-
big reasons for they were one of the culprits that were big for the strike, because Disney would like be taking scans of people as like, hey, yeah, we're just doing headshots and stuff. They weren't. They were taking scans so that way they could just use people in the background, which can't just do.
Yeah, but they
So-
probably had them sign like a
and a lot of things were
contract for
starting
like
to
the
do that, so-
headshots without the context of it being used for AI. So it was they probably didn't give them the proper context. So it's like, oh yeah, these headshots,
No, they didn't. That's
just
what I just said.
Yeah.
That's why they did the strikes, or part of it.
scummy contracts. We love scummy contracts.
Aidan's doing what KW normally does and just making like a song out of a normal sentence.
Yeah.
Anyway, Josh says he's getting like the old version, referring to Psycho. Which I mean, I can
she's sweet
get
but a
because
psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, out of my mind. Oh, she hot but a
not just
psycho.
screaming. That's not quite, but yeah. So I can understand that because I mean, once enough time passes, like as the creator of anything, you're going to look back and have regrets. So that's why people say like, oh, the original author of insert live action remake work here, not going to stop the fact that you hear all day, decides to make a bunch of changes or something, then that's usually why. Ultimately, it's not to annoy people. It's just because they've had their products for 10, 15, 20 years, and they're like, this I need to make amends.
Yeah, but I will say sometimes changes are done for the worse. Like sometimes to be like, oh, we should change this, and it's like, oh, the original was fine.
Speaking
But
of
sometimes
Disney,
the original
again,
was just so much worse.
This is why I didn't specify.
Depends. Remake depends. Although I don't mind some changes. Like I actually think all the changes in Invincible so far by the creator were actually for the better. Although I do hope certain plot lines get cut in the future because they already introduced a character who does something horrible that I think that whole plot line should be cut or done better than the comics.
If you're saying they're making changes,
right? I mean,
there's
they
a
can
high
just
chance.
completely change it.
I just
Like
That's
the boys comic and the boys show is almost entirely different from one another.
Yeah. They redeemed her after what she did. She named the baby Marky after she did what she did. I'm not going into it too much, but
that was Severus Potter. I don't know. That's all I have. That's all I've got.
It is bad. Oh god, I hate how he named it after Snape. He named it after Snape. Snape was evil still. He killed Dumbledore.
Okay, at Dumbledore's request, if we're going to talk about Snape's evil parts, the Dumbledore thing I would probably not include. Trust me, there are many, especially if you've read the books. There are many examples of why Snape should not have been chosen for that. But the Dumbledore thing is not one of them.
I think the only reason it happened was because J.K. Rowling thought Dumbledore was hot.
What?
People think he's hot.
Okay, but you said J.K. Rowling thought Dumbledore was hot. Can we go back to that, please?
Not Dumbledore, Snape. Severus Snape.
Okay.
Severus Snape.
I can assure you no one thought book Snape was hot until the movie started coming
Yeah, no, I'm referencing movie Snape, but that's most people's frame of reference. I mean, most people see the movie when they see the movies.
Movie book revisionism, classic.
They just imagine the movie version of Snape is actually similar to the book Snape and looks exactly like him, sounds like him. Like, no, they're not the same. It's like calling Dumbledore from the book and the movie. Like in the book, Dumbledore was like a spry old man hopping around. In the movie, he was like an old man who could barely move.
I love how Aidan references all this stuff, but has not read the books.
I know. Look, I know stuff. Listen,
Okay.
I'm a knowledge sponge. Okay, I just like to absorb as much knowledge as humanly possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I probably talked your ear off about a bunch of the book stuff.
Yeah,
anyway.
I've heard some stuff. Like I've seen some Dom Noble videos. I don't know if I've seen any of the Harry
Oh,
Potter.
I just like to know
okay, yeah,
things.
I
I'm a
see what
knowledge
you mean. I
sponge.
know.
Don't read the Greek myths.
Spongy, 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 sponge. Remember that
How
from,
about you be a
from
how about
Baby
you be a
Randy.
knowledge sponge for Greek mythology, huh?
Spongy, 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 spongy,
I
spongy,
mean,
spongy.
I know what I remember what I
How about
hear.
you, how about
If
you
someone
pick up
tells
the
me,
Odyssey?
okay,
Okay,
I want.
I wouldn't go that far just
when I
yet.
say
Again,
I
would
am a
start
knowledge
with-
sponge, I know what I know what I've been told and I hear and
Yeah.
I've seen. Okay, and I'm not good at reading big books. Big books scare me. I get
Yeah,
stressed.
so the Odyssey definitely not. Again, if you were to start,
I think I
would
read one
definitely
of them in
I
high
would
school.
definitely one of the Odysseys.
Not. It was one of those kind of books that we read in like high school as a class. Not by my choice.
We technically
Was it the Iliad?
tiny bit of the we never. It's weird because they say we read the Odyssey in class. What we did was we read like two
Bridge version.
two
Well, yeah.
pages of it that
Okay.
had like only like information from like one or two of the books inside of the Odyssey, and even then it was kind of shortened, and so it's like, well, does this count as reading the Odyssey? I don't know if it counts as reading the Odyssey. This is like
mean,
if
it's
I
kind of the
open up
same
a
thing
book,
as, you know,
read
we
like
read
we read
Don Quixote in class at one point, but yeah, it was a abridged version for the same reason. But then my
I
dad
feel
picked
like
up
if you
the
open
actual
up a
Don
book and you
Quixote.
read chapter 6, you can't say you read the book, you know?
Okay, yeah, well, all right, fine. That's a little bit different. Yeah, this was a, but yeah, yeah. If people do want to start with Greek mythology, I've always said it. I recommend starting with something like the Mythos trilogy by Stephen Fry, or if you're looking for something a bit more young adulty, then Percy Jackson. But yeah. No, with the knowledge that, you know, changes have
It's
been
not
made with
100%
Percy Jackson.
accurate to the myths.
Yeah,
For what I know.
if you want, yeah, if you want an accurate,
Didn't like
and
Athena have a kid? Or was it Athena? Which goddess had a
multiple, well, Athena had multiple kids, but importantly,
Basically,
they actually
every
do cover
god
this.
and all of it.
kid? The
Okay,
no, but like
no,
the
not
virgin.
every god. So
I'm
okay,
referencing because like the virgin goddess somehow had a kid.
yeah,
So-
okay, so that actually does come up. So yeah, the canonical explanation is that the same way that Athena was born from Zeus's skull, all of her children are born from like the idea of their conception, and they come from Athena's skull.
That
To
sounds
which
painful.
Annabeth stops giving details because she's like, Percy, do you really want to know how I was born, like the whole details of
Yeah.
that? And Percy's like, yeah, no.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to know.
fu-
You
it-
know, I mean that sounds kind
So
of
it's funny.
horrific.
It's funny you. It's funny you say that actually. So I don't know if it's explained how painful it is in the Percy Jackson books, because the whole thing of
It's
being
explained
from
in
Zeus'
Mythos.
skull, that is like that part is absolutely in the original myths, and it is painful. It's so painful, in fact, that certain translations have it where Zeus's suffering was so intense that he gave someone an axe and just begged them to like split his skull with it. And that's what
think that's where we
led
get the phrase
to
splitting
her
headache
being
from.
shattered out. Yeah. So in some versions, she simply like bursts out of the head, and other times they literally slam the front of Zeus's skull in, and it opens up like a doorway for Athena to exit because he just couldn't
Mhm.
take the pain.
Yeah,
Athena,
so I'm
exit stage left.
All this to
Into
avoid
stage
getting a son, by
right.
the way.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I see. Yeah, that's the whole other matter. Again, I could elaborate because that was pointed out in Mythos, and that was actually the inspiration behind Olympus AD. That whole prophecy was the main basis of that series. But that's not important right now. What is important is getting back to Jake in minute 48 of this stream. We're on the first scene.
Yeah.
You better get going. We can talk about it on Monday. Okay?
Make
Alright, Hailey.
Scarab move so good.
But I will get my
Yes.
yes, princess.
Shut up.
Excuse you, princess.
It's excuse me. Oh, I guess excuse you in this
Excuse
case,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, be excuse
Well,
you. to Link her.
excuse me, princess.
God, God, KW, in the Zelda prequel, we need to have that line. It will be hilarious.
Yeah. By the way, I love how close the sister is to like everyone in the music club. Just like the unofficial mascot or something. And again, Luca's practically family at this point.
She walked behind the couch.
You sure took your time saying
Yes, she did. I mean, I.
No, I just like it. I just like perspective shots. I just was saying it from a perspective shot thing. I like perspective shots. They're cool.
Do you call it a perspective shot? I guess maybe.
I did a few, like, specifically
I looked away for
the
a
latest
brief
episode of
second.
Fallen Angels,
to get a
like
drink,
Fallen
I
Angels
can't tell ya.
episode, the latest episode of Fallen Angels season 2 specifically. You have a bit of a minor perspective shot where you see you see Key running, and a tree is in the foreground and a bush is in the background. I just called her Tree. Tree.
Is that what people call perspective shots, like foreground and background details?
That's how you construct a perspective shot.
No, it's not.
technically.
Perspective shots are very
Yeah.
simple. You play a
Oh.
first-person shooter. You play a video game where you're inside of.
Well, I'm
someone's
not
eyes,
wording
that's a
it
perspective.
right.
Okay, so essentially what Aidan called POV shots at the start of this stream.
Look, I just like things being
Yes,
foreground, things being in
POV.
the
That's what a
background.
POV shot is.
Yeah, that is something that not to immediately talk about Disney again, but that is something that I took as inspiration from them for Mutant Girl Season 2. Because Felix's lab, even though it wasn't immediately apparent until much later, because we'd already written the finale by this point, which, you know, I will concede is an advantage of having the full season ready, I knew was going to involve some way of, like, a bunch of things getting smashed, which meant that not everything could be part of the background. So there are a few tables and chairs and stuff, and a whole formation I had there for, like, 6 months in an editing software, that was used for foreground and background stuff. And when I was looking at one of Doug Walker's Dark Toons episodes talking about Mickey Mouse and the Mad Doctor and how Disney would play around with foreground shots, but foreground details particularly, as well as background things, that was like, oh yeah, that's actually a very cool idea. So yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of being
Yeah,
able to actually
no,
having the character be able to interact with the background. I think that's pretty cool. I don't do it too often because, for one, it's a pain to do with character posing and stuff, and it's like a pain to have.
Two is not always necessary.
Yeah, like I don't really do it that often. I mean, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. So, but it's really cool when it's done. It's just I would like to do it more often, but I just need more reasons to do it, and also,
yeah,
ideally
yeah,
in a less crowded shot to have an interactable background, because more stuff I have on screen, the more my thing's going to lag and become a mess.
You might want to pre-render some of those things. Then I can imagine that you know, that the Xander, Luke, and sister's name I've forgotten would be on the couch, and that could have, in theory, been a green screen shot that was recorded and pre-rendered and then put in as one layer.
Probably. Either that or they masked, or like it was masked around.
No,
that too,
a
yeah.
POV and a
That's another thing,
perspective
which
are the
also
same
only
thing.
requires one layer for the. Yeah, okay, which also only requires one layer for the record to mask something like that. So
I'm
two
not
layers,
good at
one extra
masking.
layer.
I did do one bit of masking for crap. What's it?
Yeah.
For Cryptic Lands, I did do a bit of masking for that, but that was like I had to put a character behind a bar. I don't know how it worked. I don't know if it worked very well. I think it worked out fine, but I don't know. Maybe.
Let me know which scene once I get around to watching that.
You'll know it's the bar scene.
Okay, fair enough then.
It's just the bar. Yeah.
God,
These guys
speaking
up
of
to in your room
rendering it,
anyway.
I've been
so
rendering this
par-
since yesterday.
And it's
I'm
still
22 of this
rendering.
tutorial animation.
How many frames does
For
it have?
context, BB is doing a blended tutorial animation that the audience was not aware of. So that's what she's
Feel like-
referencing right now.
Paranoid Xander.
I've spoken
were
about
just
it before.
talking,
It
and
has
it's none
160 by the way.
Yeah,
and-
to us in the group chat.
of your business.
yeah, and on stream.
Oh
Cinder,
God.
look. Oh, the puppies woke up.
Oh, okay. I mean, one of them has. The other one is waking currently.
Aww.
I still hate you. Oh my
What
god, the
program are they
Despicable Me
watching?
reference. A
What
dog?
program are they watching currently?
Are they like streaming videos from their phone? Like maybe a dog YouTube video, but like
They could
I
just
don't know.
have like the YouTube app on TV because that is a
I
thing.
mean, that's why. Yeah, maybe.
That was definitely some interesting.
I
Asset
do not
information
like Xander. If Xander has no haters, then I am dead.
Oh no! Don't worry. I still don't like him. That scene changed nothing. It just wasn't. It's just it's so apparent by now. It's not. I don't think it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, I know. It's just something I'm emphasizing. Nothing in nothing in the whole season. Just talking about the season as a whole. Nothing in this whole season has made me want like Xander as a character. Like, which is
Well,
weird.
yeah, he hasn't earned that yet.
Yeah, no, but like it took a whole. I should have liked him at least by this end of the season finale. I should like Xander because if this only got one season, which it didn't, it's getting.
Oh well,
two
we
seasons,
haven't got there yet.
Yeah, but I should be able to like
taking
him by
Zoe
then.
so
I
long.
still don't like him.
I mean, what you said originally was nothing you've seen so far. Well, I guess you meant because you've watched
Nothing
the
I've
whole
seen
thing
at
Such a
all.
loner.
Hmm.
I guess I'll go wait outside.
I like how they're talking in the background. The floor
is
reflections.
true, yeah.
The reflections on the floor. I love them. So I just love those kind of details.
The
God,
floor is very shiny as well. It's been like recently waxed, so you see everything very clearly.
Look, I just wish I could do those kind of details in Fallen Angels or like
You
knew how
can.
to do them
You
properly. I'm not good at those kind of details. You know, it's like the abstract visuals. I'm not great at it. If I was
okay.
plus
Well, I mean, also, I don't know.
Abstract
Apart
visuals
from
are where
maybe
I
like the
play, and
grocery
oh my
store.
god, I love them.
Okay, great. Actually, yeah, the only place that I think you would probably want to use those at all would probably be the grocery store because every other floor surface would not be this reflective anyway, so there would be no
Yeah.
point.
But I
Again,
mean,
this is what we're
it would
saying
be-
about like the necessity behind these different visual ideas and
Yeah,
stuff.
but it'd also
Oh,
be
they're there,
cool,
it's
like,
great.
say, like, a character is walking past the river and you get to see the reflection walk past as well as they walk by.
Ah, well, I did that in Witch Academy at one point.
Well, you sort of did it. You didn't have the character just casually walk by and just be a minor detail. I'm saying, like, introducing it as a minor detail and not as a focus.
Okay,
You know?
all right then.
And I find that cool to be in stuff, where it's like you have all these minor details that you wouldn't notice unless you're paying attention.
I suppose.
They're just there.
And we do have other details, bear in mind. We just don't,
Yeah.
call them out all the time.
Whoa! Oh, I'm sorry, Leah.
Oh, it's okay, Jake.
I hope I didn't.
Oh, that's the same extra from before. That's a nice thing as well. The fact the extra was just like standing there before, no thoughts, head empty, but actually, no thoughts, head empty, but moving at least.
Damage it.
Don't worry. I drop it like 2 times a day at least, and it never breaks.
Oh,
Actually,
you say that.
I've been meaning to talk to you.
Oh, now's not really. Oh,
Like, I'm just gonna.
I love
wait,
the
there we
clicking
go.
sound effects
Yeah,
they have for this
recalculating.
hallway. It really
If people
spells
miss
how
that
much in a
visual-
hurry these people are.
Of course.
You froze,
Yes.
Jacob.
But if people missed
there?
out, that's what I just said. I guess. I don't know. Am I?
You're glitching.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. So I paused because I wanted to like match up this. So if anyone missed that, Leah just asked Jake, "Oh, you have a moment to talk?" And Jake was like, "Oh, now's not really the moment." And then he looked towards Hailey on the other side of the hallway, and she went to like get something in a locker. That was everything.
hey!
Yeah.
Hailey, over here! Oh, hey. Sorry, Leah. No.
Sorry, Leah, something just came up. When? 2 seconds ago. Bye.
Well, the boy's been on a mission, okay? To talk to his girlfriend. No, they're not dating.
What, Daisy?
They're- oh my god, no. No, I'm talking about the obvious in-game ship, which is not quote unquote supposed to be obvious. I mean, what? This
Isn't?
totally isn't meant to be endgame. This is obviously meant to be endgame. God, I hate in shows where you're able to tell which ship is and isn't meant to be endgame. Sometimes.
I don't mind that necessarily, because sometimes it's all about like how the people build up as a couple and they get to that point. You know they're going to reach there, but the point is like, how do they and how satisfying is it towards the end? I guess it's more of an issue when it becomes when there's like multiple possible pairings and only one of them gets enough attention. That's when it becomes an issue. So it's like, I guess,
I mean,
what is the only one?
Starco definitely falls apart with that. Like,
yeah, because there are multiple other pairings that kind of conflicted with that.
Yeah, and that also were hyper detailed, and like we spent way too long on them. By the time we got to the quote end game ship that we've pretty much known since like mid season 1.
I guess a bit of a closer to home example, I guess, would be would be like early My Street when there was still a bit of toying with Garmao and Lamao. I'm not going to mention Diaries because that went on for way longer. But
that went on for too long in Diaries.
Yeah, so
we were still playing around with the idea of Garmao and Lamao, even though Jess already decided it was going to be Aaron. But
yeah,
Aaron by like
so there was that issue.
season
But
1.
yeah, at least in My Street, Garmao and Lamao were kind of like played mostly for comedy, emphasis on mostly. So but yeah, like after but after the obvious endgame couple became obvious, which did take some time at the very least. So they did let people dream for a little while. But after that, it was more of a case like the after ever after and how they actually meshed as a couple, because they were obviously the end game. The end game had been achieved. So
I mean, I personally like
it's so satisfying because
I like series where we actually get the characters together and we actually get to see them as a couple. Because what annoys me about like some in-game ships is like we spend so long on getting to end-game, we don't spend any time in end-game. We just kind of
God,
get to end-game
as
and
a
then
Marvel
quickly move
fan, this is
on.
a weird conversation to
end it.
follow.
Marvel doesn't own the term endgame. It's
Sure,
a
but no one ever
word,
used it.
BB. What? Shippers use it. It's a literal shipping.
It was used for quite some time beforehand.
It
Never once heard it before then.
Well, that sounds like a you problem, that's not a word problem.
I think there was a Katy Perry song called Endgame slightly before the movie. Not connected. Anyway, yeah, so
Canon.
I thought you were going to say because
Cannon?
because,
like cannonballs? Oh my god. That just makes me think of cannonballs. The word I had never heard the word cannon before.
Wrecking balls, yeah! I came in like a wrecking ball.
Once again, another song that came before.
I had never heard of Wrecking Balls before that song, so Katy Perry must have invented it.
That was Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, I think it was that one, and then I remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
all I know is
there's
there's a naked woman on a wrecking ball. It's weird.
It was a stray. It was a genuinely strange music video. Yeah, I don't know how that one got trending. I never really got it. It wasn't a great song.
And you couldn't get away from it on the radio either. Because listen to it almost every day before going to school.
Yeah, I don't know how. It's not that good of a song.
I came in like a wrecking
ball. I never got into it either.
See you in class.
Oh.
Nice talking to you two.
I mean, maybe that's a sign he just doesn't want to hang out with you.
Potentially, although it is like a bit of a contrast between the way that Jake was essentially helping out the people that he had not been close to for some time, versus like his old friends now. It's like he dedicate an entire episode to helping Millie talk to a crush, but won't dedicate 5 seconds to whatever's going on with Leah.
Yeah, but I will say sometimes Leah, like in early episodes especially, did kind of cross some boundaries with Jake, the way she was like treating him.
And Millie
Like,
doesn't cross boundaries with every human in existence.
Oh no, Millie 100% does. But in the case of Leah, like Leah did kind of cross some boundaries. Like, dude, girl, stop trying to push a relationship. You made your feelings known, and he's not reciprocated yet or at all. So maybe just move on.
Hmm.
You deserve a man who actually likes you. Do not chase a boy who doesn't even think of you that way. Like, dang. Get some self-respect, girl.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those life lessons where with rejection. I just closed down a bunch of things to see if it would help out with connection, and it might take a second to recalibrate.
Look at Sean's face. It's beautiful.
You know, KW, the more you refer to your hot chocolate as your special hot chocolate, the more it sounds like you drugged it with something.
It does kind of do that.
Oh no, I'm sorry, the chat wasn't scrolling. Okay, now I see it.
KW, I don't want your special hot chocolate. I'd rather stay conscious.
Oh, I really want your special hot chocolate. Let's not mince words here. I'm just saying it sounds like it's special for a few other reasons. I really want it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Those I take Alexander were cousins. I'm pretty sure they are the step siblings or half siblings.
They're step siblings.
There we go. So yeah. That
although
just
the little girl is a half sibling though.
Of both of them?
Yeah, both of them.
She's a fusion.
Yeah, well, she's fusion of the stepdad and the stepmom together.
Maybe
or, well, dad and stepdad.
Matching jackets for us.
You know,
yeah,
I'm not wording
she
it
looks
right.
she looks like if a
Would be
man and a
kinda
woman
sick.
had a baby.
Yeah, I wonder.
That checks out. Oh my goodness, I'm almost out of battery. My equipment's falling apart now. Someone steal Sean's laptop, please.
You know, at work, sometimes when people I know get popcorn, I ask them if they want the Aiden special. I do specify that it's me putting a lot of butter in the popcorn. Like a lot of butter.
I thought you were gonna say it was your number or something. I thought it was like your flirting.
What? No! Oh no, that'd be creepy. I don't flirt with customers. That's weird. No.
I thought you said
bad.
people you know. So it's like,
yeah, people I know.
How'd you meet these people?
I don't know. Like just through existing in reality. Dude, no.
You had to specify that was a rhetorical question.
Oh, yeah, but no, like, I'll be like, hey, you guys want the Aiden special? Which I specify it's a lot of butter, the popcorn. Like, I drown it. Like, it's like a scoop of popcorn, butter, scoop of popcorn, butter. It's amazing.
No, yeah, my mom is very similar, where my mom will do it where her butter, I remember this so vividly, because, and we don't go to the movies very often, but the very few times we did, we went to Wonder Woman back whenever it was in theaters, the first Wonder Woman.
2017.
And I remember,
2017.
I guess. And so
that was a year.
She got popcorn, and she had drowned this popcorn. I kid you not. And by the time she was finished that popcorn, half of the bowl was butter.
Ha ha.
I mean, she could have drank it, and it would have had the same effect.
Carbs! All the carbs. Mwahaha.
KW's hot chocolate is like her version of Harvey's brownies. So those basically the hot chocolates and the brownies. I mean,
well, okay, KW, you know the area where I'm at. You should come here, okay? We can hang out. I can show you everything.
From the state, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I don't think BB's banned from the state anymore. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Is it? Are you guys?
It doesn't really matter to me anymore, man. I don't know.
I mean, it's not
Probably
like how are they
fine.
gonna how are they gonna know specifically you? It's not like you committed war crimes.
Right,
here.
that's the other thing, which is like,
I don't.
yeah.
I'm going to commit various war crimes.
Yeah,
that was an
sorry, no,
actual
I'll commit.
chuckle
I'll
quote,
go.
I
I'll
had
go
to.
there. I'll commit various crimes, so that way they know exactly where my location is.
I mean, just don't.
In case
just
they were
don't,
confused.
Just don't tell everyone. Don't tell don't post publicly you're here.
Yeah,
It's
just don't
fine.
cause trouble. It's funny actually. It's. I think I've told this story before. So, in Ireland, they have the easiest citizenship test as well. So you can go to Ireland, and the way you get past there is, of course, living there for a while. But your test, the big test, it's the hardest test, really. It's if you pass, like I forget what the actual term is. Essentially, is don't cause trouble and you're fine, right? If you have good vibes, they will just let you stay,
Okay.
and it's
They
kind
do
of
a vibe
hilarious.
check.
So it's
They
it's
do a
like
good old vibe check.
just like so live there for like 2-4 years. I don't remember a couple of years. And then go up to them and be like, hey man, I'm really liking this place. Am I good? They're like, you got a criminal record? And they're like, you're like, no. And they're like, you want to have a pint with me? They're like, sure. And they're like, great, welcome to Ireland.
There you go. If you've got the term exact, it's probably good crack or something.
I don't think he would have texted us in such a
That's
rush
fair.
last night for that.
Okay, here's some details I'm going to mention. You know, the like an actual prop that seems like it's it looks like a bent piece of toast, but at the same time, it can pass as a rag. And we actually have the sound effects going on in the background as well. So again, small details that you notice when they're there. It's more awkward when they're not.
Whatever it is, it better be good. I sacrificed a whole 10 minutes of sleep just for that oaf.
10
Not
minutes.
Xander's precious beauty
You
sleep.
could have slept here.
Oh, shut it, you.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
he's
the
gonna mute
cat.
it now.
Hey, morning, guys. Thanks for coming in early.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh gosh.
So what's up, Jake?
Squirrel?
Gave
Dog?
us a scare last night, asking us to meet you this morning so suddenly.
Oh, sorry about that. It's nothing bad though. Me and Hailey just have something we want to talk about.
Using SpongeBob as the
What do
suds
you
again.
mean we? Don't include me in this.
Go on.
I
We're having a baby. I'm kidding.
know it
Oh
might
my
be
God.
a crazy idea, but hear me out. I think that Hailey and I should do a duet for the competition.
Oh, thank God. For a moment there, I thought you were about to announce something awful, like you were dating.
That would be awful, but you know, we're gonna ignore that for now.
What?
Yeah, but you still suck as a person.
What? Just because he has a point doesn't mean these are good. But
Yeah.
he can be right once. A broken clock is right twice a day. Okay.
I
That is a
know.
broken
I
clock.
just. I hate Xander.
Okay,
I
sure.
mean, I've
Look,
seen
if I
videos
can
of it-
agree with Sylvana a couple of times, I'm sure you can agree with Sandra
I
at least
feel
once.
sad though because I've seen videos of his VA and his VA is so sweet and the character is so trash.
Do you know whose VA is also the sweetest human being alive? Pop. Well, he's the former VA.
Yeah, but it's also the fact that he's not even intentionally meant to be horrible. I mean, like he's meant to be a little bit rude, but it's not meant to be like dislikable. It's not meant to be like in the way we're perceiving him. It's meant to be, oh, he's mildly rude, but he's charming in his own ways. Haha. It's like, no, he just kind of sucks.
I suppose, but yeah. Either way, that's the testament of acting. You know that you can become, you know, a different person to yourself. That's kind of the point.
God, Xander.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
Did you say a duet with you and Hailey? Oh my God! Yes, yes, yes!
But the competition is next Friday. Is this a bit sudden?
You could always wait until a different competition or perform a separate gig. There are multiple other options to this that don't include
Maybe you could,
sabotaging
like-
the efforts that everyone else has already made. But you know, they're not going to think about that because plots.
Exactly. It's way too late to be making sudden changes, so let's just forget about the stupid
Thank you.
idea and.
I know it's late notice, but I know we can do it if we all sacrifice our free periods to practice. I'll bet I'll turn out better than the original.
I thought for
And
sure he
it's
was
a
about to
little
say if we all
selfish.
sacrifice our friends for a second there. And I
Hold
was
on,
like,
hold on,
wait.
hold on. Here's another idea. How about, you know, they make a slight rearrangement to some of the parts, like, you know, like change the key in like the second verse potentially, and have Hailey sing that, and then they can both
To make her
harmonize
more
in
of a
the
backup
chorus.
vocalist, you know, and just
Or a backup vocalist too. That's a different option as well. That would also work. Again, multiple different ways they don't have to go about, you know, sabotaging what they've already done.
they don't even
Anyway.
use what they already done anyways. Because, you know, again, none of the practices matter.
Cleo's VA is nice, so is Alan Snape, Matthew the Purple Guy, Draco's actor, and so much more. I mean, for crying out loud, I voice a drug addict. I don't even drink.
I was like, I always kind of keep.
Wait,
I always
who
try
do
to
you voice
keep
as a
mindful
drug
that.
addict?
Harvey.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is
I
he a
always
drug
try to
addict?
keep mindful that
He's
certain
a stoner, bro.
that
He's a
pretty much every-
stoner. You make him sound like he's like
I
a
always
full-on
try to-
like junkie on popping them pills. Popping the pillies.
I always try to stay mindful that like all these people could be horrible, but I will say from what Matthew Lillard has shown so far, he honestly seems like such a nice dude. Oh my god, I want to meet him.
Okay.
Wait, we can meet him to listen. I wanna be there when you meet him.
Is this how like we all said we're gonna meet up at a con eventually?
No, I just get I love Shaggy. Shaggy, my favorite.
Shaggy.
I thought it was Fred.
Well, no, Fred's
No,
my
he
favorite.
was- no, he
That's
was
not the
Shaggy.
point, but I just love Shaggy. I don't know. I'm misspeaking. I love Shaggy.
No, Matthew Lillard was Shaggy, not Fred.
I know. I never said that. I just said I like Shaggy. I like Shaggy. Point is,
Okay.
I like Shaggy, and I want to meet Matthew Lillard because he seems cool.
I can take account myself because I voice my characters, Angelica and Annabelle, who are jerks and bullies. Me, I wouldn't dream ever say anything like they would have.
I saw a clip.
I mean, if you want to be technical, I once voiced Frieza, so.
Oh my god, no!
I go. I saw clips of him at a con, and someone convinced him to do like the purple guy quote, right? I always come back, but in the Shaggy voice. It's so good.
Like I always come back.
I always come back, man. Oh, there you go. I did it. I mean,
like,
yeah.
I could do like Shaggy's voice, sort of.
There you go.
Well, I mean, I could do like hyper distinct voices, I guess, sort of. Rose. God, Scooby's hard to do. He's kind of.
That's not that different.
I'm trying.
That wasn't gravelly either. I don't know where you're hearing these things, man.
I don't know how to describe.
Yeah, like Scooby. Yes, Scooby's what I struggle with as well. The most I can do is. That's about it from Scooby. That's all I've got.
That's real good though.
Listen,
thanks.
Mine's god awful. I just have mine is just it's not good. It's not good. It's not pleasant.
It's not like Scooby with a frog in his throat.
I'm not Scooby. I'm just not Scooby. I'm not a Scooby Doo.
I want to meet Bryson Verk, Keanu Reeves, Matthew Lillard, Christina V, and Roger Craig Smith, and Shadow's Game VA, Jason Griffith. I mean, that's quite an extensive
I love
list.
the idea that you named all those
so.
people, but you can't name Shadow's Game VA.
Keanu is voicing Shadow. Keanu.
Yeah, again, Game VA specifically.
Yeah,
we're talking about.
Movie Shadow is going to be Keanu.
Chaos Control, bogus. Okay, anyway, moving on.
But it's
John
something
Wick
I
is
really
Shadow
want
now.
to do. After hearing Hailey sing and knowing how much this competition means to her, it doesn't feel right to sing without her.
Well, if it means
Kind of putting a lot of pressure on that basic idea from like the last 2 weeks.
that much to you, then I say let's do it.
Woohoo! This is gonna be even more poggers!
More poggers.
Add to
how
Lily's
about
list.
Ooh.
Why
Yeah,
not?
that dates it a little.
Sounds like a nice idea.
Oh, right! Yes!
Xander gets a cheer for a singer he actually likes, so from his perspective, yeah, that actually sounds a good idea.
I'd rather know you'll both be leading the song rather than leaving it to just you.
See? There we go, like I said.
Well, you still suck.
Well,
You suck
Yeah.
a lot. And not in the
Okay.
good way. You suck
This
in the
is-
bad way.
Okay, so this is not this is not you know, it's like me agreeing with Xander again. This is more like I can see why from
I
his
know.
perspective he would also
No.
agree.
No, I get it. I'm making fun of Xander because I don't like him.
Man, next time I talk about Sylvan, I'm gonna remember this conversation.
Yeah, I know. I get it. It's just I can't help it. Well, I guess the problem with characters like Sylvana and Xander's case is you're meant to like them, flaws and all, but their flaws are so glaring at certain points.
You
where
don't
it's like,
know if you were
liking them
designed
is,
Sylvana's
like,
supposed to be
impossible.
funny.
Sylvana.
She's supposed to be funny in a lot of ways.
She just is horrible towards. I mean, I like her. Like my main like of her is mostly her post season 3 and her ending conversation with Aaron at the end of season 3 onwards. Like that's when I
Yeah.
actually like her. Like she works then, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
post redemption arc, kind of like Ivy in a sense.
Although
Xander?
one thing I don't like about Ivy's redemption arc is the fact that Ivy feels like a completely different person. I get it, people change a lot, but like, dang, I kind of wish they kept in some of her older aspects.
It's been like 15 years or something. Well, 10 years at least.
Yeah, it's just one of those
See,
things
I don't know if you're
where.
supposed to.
Okay, but we're speaking from a time jump perspective. Yeah, in universe it's been 10 years, but from us as an audience standpoint, it's only been like a few weeks at that point. So like, yeah, in universe, on a technical level, you'd be like, oh yeah, that was 30 years ago. Yeah, they became a genocidal madman. And then 30 years from that, they're actually
Yeah, you might want to fill in some of those blanks if we're going.
Yeah, I know, but
those
the point being, the point I'm saying is like you can't just with a biologic of a time jump, you could justify any form of character development, negative or positive. You could say any kind of change makes sense because time has passed and we haven't seen them for so long. But or like in universe, that's it. But like it doesn't work from an audience perspective because one moment Ivy is a Gareth obsessed, mean bully who has no redeeming qualities outside of loving Gareth, and jump to a relatively nice, sweet girl who is sorry and remorseful for her past. Like, I guess maybe part of the problem with Ivy is the fact there wasn't much to her initially besides liking Gareth and being a bully. So the fact that when we get her being nice in the future, it's like there wasn't much to grasp onto her initially besides the negative traits, and she wasn't a well-developed person. So it's like it doesn't really work
I mean, if
anymore.
that's the case, she doesn't really need that much time dedicated to her, you know, to her redeeming herself. Maybe something.
She needed a redemption. It's just we didn't get to learn about anything about her outside of her negative, horrible traits. That were
I guess what could have helped is potentially if like her and Tioni returned at some point and there was a little bit more elaboration on how she was getting on after, you know, the heartbreak or something, or potentially we hear from her perspective how everything went down in the future. There may be something missing there, but what we got wasn't bad necessarily, at least not for me.
I mean, I like the Friendship is Like Sandcastles episode. I really do like that episode.
That was the one where I made the promise, wasn't it? I made the promise that after 5 years later I'd watch My Little Pony.
But it's just the fact that from a redemption arc perspective, it didn't work as well. I mean, the episode worked in well as a vacuum, but it's just I kind of wish we got more of her in Phoenix Drop High, like more positive traits or more of a dynamic character outside of her love for Gareth.
Particularly season 2, I suppose, once it was clear that, you know, there was going to be a season 2, because by the time Love Fighters that wasn't clear necessarily, but yeah, something else.
Yeah, that could have been fixed retroactively, but you know,
oh well,
give her interest.
Welcome back, Beef Cheese, by the way.
Yes.
I still wish we got a little side story about the origin of Phoenix Drop High, Phoenix Knights. Shadow Knights. Because I've always found
that
it
would
very
be pretty cool.
interesting. I've always found it very interesting to think. So okay, these are. I get that at the start these were alternate universes and they weren't meant to connect necessarily, but now that they do, I have to question. I have to question how the Shadow Knights were brought up.
My guess was Gene on like during like the first week of like his sophomore year or something was like, wow, look at those ill-tempered freshmen there. I'm gonna go and talk to them.
Well,
yeah,
no,
but
Gene,
I better recruit them now.
Gene founded the Shadow Knights. What are you talking about?
Exactly. So
no,
he went over and talked to them, and founded the group with them.
Right,
and
but
then
that's
the
not
rest
the
was
interesting part, right? That's not the interesting part. Though. I want to know how they got the name.
Fact that Shadow Knights existed in ancient times, but then the existent thing. My best guess would be the core concept of Shadow Knights was a mythological thing, like we were talking about unicorns or something. You know, alleged myths and mythologies that are intimidating and intimidating. So therefore,
considering that Irene is a documented figure, the Shadow Knights would have come up in conversation at least.
Yeah, so like, oh, Irene dealt with the Shadow Knights. Oh, I know. How else best to intimidate people?
Probably not their names, because otherwise it'd be like, oh, your names are Sasha and Zenix? What a coincidence. Look at this history book I have.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think much of the names actually survived from the past.
Dude, Lawrence would have freaked out after he transformed for the first time in Big Move. He would have been like, no, wait a second, it's just like the stories. No!
That might have been his first time, like, ever. That was his first time on screen. So, who knows when he got that.
No,
probably during
I will
college.
say, if I ever got the chance, I'd love to go into more detail about that bit, because I still really think that could have been something interesting if they just went full force into that little plot hole.
Yeah, well, particularly from Gar's side, actually, considering season 6.
Well, yeah. Anyways, yes.
Sure.
Anyways, yeah. I love your segment, Aidan.
Anyways, yes.
I think I've live frozen again.
You having fun just dancing there, Jacob?
Yeah. You gonna play?
I thought I was. It stopped working. So.
Oh God, we're gonna crash.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. An unexpected error happened during local video playback. So. That's what happened. Anyway, have a look at the. We haven't done anything on the bingo yet. Just been talking about irrelevant nonsense for the most part, so
yeah,
nothing's come up yet. Oh wow, the file's just gone for some reason.
The file got deleted. rosyclosy hacked your computer, Jacob.
Yeah, that would be the unexpected error, wouldn't it?
I still, you know, it was even weird because I still have episode 7.
Yeah, I guess that would be a pretty unexpected error for your machine, I imagine, yeah. Hey, it's deleted! There's no local video anymore. What happened?
Okay, we'll have to get it again. The weirdest part is that I actually downloaded it twice because the first download was going to take 3 hours, so I got it a second time. So 2 files got removed at once.
Oh my God.
And this is how we find out that Jacob's computer has been hacked and someone's actively deleting files.
rozyclosy just was so upset by the review because we keep talking about nonsense that she was like, kill the review!
You have been infected with scary British noises. How do you wish to continue?
Scary British noises EX starts playing.
Okay, now it's just re-downloading automatically, so. Didn't take 3 hours this time, it's taking 1 minute, apparently.
Oh, Bond's dead, apparently.
Oh, yeah, there was like a whole shootout or something going on in the chat, I just didn't acknowledge it.
I think it's a knife fight.
People don't realize, even if I don't, unless I forget to scroll or it doesn't scroll on Restream, I do tend to read people's messages even if I don't put them on screen.
Oh no, it is not a shoot. They switched from a knife to a gun.
What do you have? A knife!
No!
God, I love that meme.
I remember Aphmau recreated that at some point.
Yeah. With the Emerald Secret Aphmau design.
So
But
Yeah.
I've been updating my I've been updating the Omniverse timeline lately, and I've been in a bunch of Godzilla stuff. And I mentioned this in chat.
Are you in love with Godzilla?
Earlier. No, I watched a few
Weird
of
question.
the first few Godzilla films whenever I was really young. My stepdad showed it to me in his mechanic shop. And I've watched, I think two or three MonsterVerse films that had Godzilla in it. But that's about as far as that goes. But I've always wanted to try and get into it. But it's that weird
At
thing
some
of
point,
I
I'll have
actually
that,
don't
the
like
multiverse
Godzilla.
on there.
Well, yeah, but it's
Okay.
interesting, right? Because I don't really like Godzilla. You know, like it's never been that appealing to me. But I would say that actually Godzilla -1 sounds like it has an actually pretty intriguing concept. I actually am excited about that one.
They re-released it at my
but-
theater, but as a black and white version. I'm like, you didn't even change the
Yeah,
film,
I
you just
heard
made
that.
it
That's
black and white.
awesome.
But it's so easy to make videos
That's
black and
awesome.
white. I can make a video black and white. I could
We
literally
all
pull
can,
up,
yeah.
I could pull just
Yeah,
literally
it's
give me
so
a film
cool.
download, put it in my editor, black and white. Oh my god, guys! Here's a new movie to re-release. Like, all I'm
Yeah,
saying,
and it's awesome.
too easy.
But I
It
have
does,
to.
okay, I will say
but
it
I
does
have-
sometimes provide a different experience to watch something in black and white versus in color. People do it with like Mask of the Phantasm, for example. People
I don't
decide
know,
to
but
watch
like
that in black and white.
also when you're not prepared to make a movie in black and white, though, prepared to have it be in black and white, you really got to make sure it works, because sometimes certain like colors in black and white look very similar, so that can make it look very muddled if you don't do it right.
I feel like if that's the decision they're going to make, they
but,
definitely have
here's
to
Bob
at least
Ross.
think about that.
Chat. What this was leading up to was I mentioned this in the Butter Bunch GC earlier, but I don't really know how to experience Godzilla is what I've learned, right? I think that's what it is, because a big chunk of it
I mean, you
is
can just not like
big
something.
monster. Yeah, but it's like it feels like I'm missing something, you know? Because it's like there's big monster fighting big monster, right? And everyone seems to love that, but then there's also like actual like Godzilla himself is like an allegory for like the bomb, and it's like okay.
That's why
Godzilla
its head used to be
fans-
like a massive mushroom.
Yeah, so he also has like radioactive breath as well, which I didn't even know. That's crazy. I didn't even know that until recently. But Godzilla fans in chat, if we got any, I think Kenobi said they were. What headspace do you get into to watch Godzilla? Because I don't understand it.
I mean, I think people who enjoy those kind of movies in general tend to more like simpler movies and just kind of dumb action movies. Nothing too complex.
Well, yeah, but that's
Which,
the
I
thing,
mean-
though.
With a hint
Not
of
all of it
allegory,
is
I
just
suppose.
dumb action. Right, like Godzilla -1, I know is like a really like deep like movie apparently about like World War One, two, no two,
Well,
because
it's about
bomb and all
yeah.
that. Two.
Exactly.
Yeah. And PTSD
Made by the
and all that. Right?
made by the nation that was most affected by that. Yes.
Yeah, that is also part of the history that I know. That's why it came out like in the 1950s. That was immediately a thing that they got to do, and just because it affected them quite a bit, and it was very recent at that time.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, BB, I think Kenobi was somewhat enduring or at least witnessing an Uno battle in the chat right now, so I'm sure she'll get back to you eventually.
This is gonna be even more poggers!
How about you guys?
Why not? Sounds like a
As
nice
a black
idea.
and white. I've sent the lizard
right,
boy.
Yes! I'd rather know you'll both be leading the song
rip off.
rather
Just
than
redubbed
it's
everything.
just you anyways.
Well, Xander, Thanks for the support.
Did you expect any
And
difference?
You want to do this, Hailey?
I would hope he was changed by
I don't
now, but
know.
Come on, Hailey. You can't hate to be next to me that much, surely. We'll be great. Just
Okay, there we go.
You know-
Reason why I like Godzilla, because that's renting a law, which makes sense when it, like, -1. The Japanese film from 2016. Most Western Godzilla movies are trash because they add nostalgia. Okay, there you go. There's your answer.
Also,
my
by the way,
lead.
in this situation, I think Jake isn't really good at reading social cues in this situation. Like, dang, Jake, it's kind of painfully obvious that she's that she's not, if something's going on with her. Like, come on, Jake, you're not this socially inept, are you?
Well, I mean, apparently so. This might be the this might be his old jerk self coming through a
You
bit.
can't force her to do this if she doesn't feel comfortable. Don't just
Once again, even if we don't like Xander, he can have a point occasionally.
decide things on your own accord if Hailey isn't on board.
I know. I don't want to force you, Hailey. I just don't want this opportunity to go to waste. I think we'd be great on stage together. Don't you?
Yeah, there'll be more opportunities. It's not like you're gonna be like, oh hey, you know, this
Hey,
musical
Hailey, I'm
competition.
gonna
look
die.
at this-
I'm gonna die
We did this
after today."
competition. We did this one competition. Time to split the band up. That's not necessarily going to happen. I know that Sean particularly is going to graduate. So, say for sake of argument, the competition at the end of the year for whatever reason, then okay.
But you know, just saying, that's probably gonna be an inevitable arc, though, about them having to get a new person to help them compose music.
It's gonna be the sister. The sister's actually like a prodigy, so she joins the school several years early, and she's able to join.
Oh
the
my god,
music
it's like
club.
young Sheldon. No.
I was gonna say Ant Farm, but you know what? That works too.
Wait, I forgot about
know,
Ant Farm.
Jake. I'm sure we would be. Just let me think about it. Be right back. I'm going to the restroom.
Wow. She really doesn't want to sing with me, huh?
No, it's,
I will
it's
say,
not like that, Jake.
I do
I'm
think
sure she-
part of the
It's
reason
not
why
about
maybe the
you, Jake.
Western.
Get over yourself.
Yeah.
I'll say
Oh, we're going
maybe
sorry,
maybe
Peter's
part of
gonna
the
mention
reason why
Godzilla
the
again, without context, yeah.
yeah I think the main reason why the Western films probably aren't as great is because due to the allegory of Godzilla, it's not the most patriotic thing in the world, you know? I'm not surprised if they might
Exactly.
want to avoid those themes in the Western movies because it doesn't paint us as good guys, you know?
Yeah. But in this case, I don't know. I do kind of see Jake's point, but also I feel like Jake should actually try to ask her for more information. Because
Potentially, but he's also
like-
kind of framing it like he's offended this, you know, she doesn't want to sing with me. Like he specifies with me as if like he's the problem. Well, I mean, which he is, of course, but just not in the way he thinks he is.
I mean, maybe
Because
he,
there
I
are
don't know.
other-
Maybe he's still insecure about like how they view him at this point.
Yeah, which kind of makes the pep talk scene from last episode kind of pointless.
Reasons.
Like what?
You can't get rid of insecurities no matter how much you get pep talked.
we
You can reduce them, and it's not, one pep talk won't necessarily do it, but it's the step forward.
were in 7th grade.
It's like they can't ever go away.
The talent show?
Yeah, we can all perform
Okay, so I'll point this out right now. Shadows.
together. You'll play the drums, Xander will play the piano, and I'll sing. It's
I like how the music also gives like a little bit more of like a pep to it, almost a bit more. I guess like simple and jovial, kind of like childhood itself.
perfect. What do you guys say?
I don't know if I'm good enough at playing the drums yet.
Also, wait a minute.
What are you
They
talking
specified the words 7th grade,
Yes.
meaning you don't use.
Oh, so
7th grade.
we're going back to the United Kingdom States of England Erica argument.
No, but like you don't. What you guys you say like sixth form and stuff. You like say different stuff.
We
So,
wouldn't say yeah. What we would have said, particularly would have said year 7. Or if you want the specific year group itself, this would have been 7th grade. Would have been year 8. But
yeah, but so point for America because we specified 7th grade. We specified.
All right, so that's like 2 points for America and like 7 for the UK.
Not
Oh,
7.
you're plenty
How's it 7?
More like 5.
good, Luke. It's time for you to show off
Maybe
what
like
you
3
learned,
or
right?
4.
Please.
UK, America.
What do you think, Xander?
Seems like a hassle.
I knew you'd be like this, Xander.
Sure, add the lizard boy to your ideas. Fair enough.
You're never up for anything fun.
You're annoying. Do the talent show
Dang.
by yourself.
I don't want to. It's not fun that way. Please tell him, Luke.
Lukey
Don't you think
Pookie,
it would be
Pookie,
fun, Xander?
Lukey Pookie.
I'm sure
God.
everyone would love
Yeah.
to hear
I've
you
been seeing
sing
clips from
the
Jesse
piano.
recently. Oh no.
Also, I love how this story is framed as if as if like there's a reason why, you know, trying to convince her to sing with us or to perform on stage with you in this way is not going to go well. Let's go back to time she convinced us to do the exact same thing. I know that's not the exact same situation. She's not
Well, in
forcing
this
them.
case, we're giving it full context because if we literally just had the major event at the end of the flashback.
Well, no, we've got to
again,
build up to that. I'm not saying
yeah.
don't build up to it. I'm just pointing out there's a little bit of a disparity between the method in which they point it out. I'm not saying don't point it out at all.
And I would
Well, I
like to play with
imagine, like,
you
in
on stage,
reality,
too.
they're just
Oh, hey, did the Aiden thing.
yeah, explaining it within like 2 to 3 sentences, but instead we're actually getting a fully fleshed out flashback. Like in reality.
Again, I'm not saying don't do the flashback. I'm just suggesting the method again, like the specific story that's being framed here for this flashback. I'm not saying don't have a story or don't have a flashback. I'm just questioning the nature of it.
Well, I mean, in this case, I think it's meant to be dramatic irony. You know, in present day, she doesn't want to sing for whatever reason, but in the flashback, she was so keen to sing, and she's the one pushing it. But something must have happened to make her not want to sing during this flashback.
Okay,
that we don't that we haven't got to yet. You know, irony, like it's like the like a complete opposite of the present day, because this flashback, whatever happened in this flashback, clearly stuck.
Yeah, you've made your point. I've said yes. There we go.
Fine.
Yes!
Do you know when I first streamed Sapphire Wings? You could just look that up on my channel. Why didn't you? Like, I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I do Gacha reviews all the time, but yeah, just look. Just you can do a search on people's channels to find specific videos.
But I get to choose the song.
But I already chose a song.
Those were the conditions.
Xander, you're kind of a jerk.
That was. What do you mean the conditions? That was a singular condition.
Fair. Why are you so selfish all the time?
What? You're gonna complain to Daddy again?
Guys.
Doesn't seem like a good dynamic for a group at that particular point.
Xander's a toxic jerk.
Hey.
I mean, in that situation, that, you know, I guess he can speak from experience of being forced into or pressed into doing something they didn't want to do, and that was the example right there. So, I guess he spoke from experience.
I mean, he clearly somewhat enjoyed it to the point where he did a music club.
I mean, yes. Well, sometimes you can find that you do enjoy the things people are
Also,
pressuring you to
Bob
do.
Ross in the
still been pressured
background.
into doing them.
Bob Ross.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
He's gonna sing for the talent show next week.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious. Zoe told me this morning.
Wait, really? I didn't know we could sing.
That's
You didn't know you could sing in a talent show. I know you're a child, but what do you think
No,
most talent show acts comprise?
he said no. They're referring to him saying, "I didn't know he can sing, like has the ability to sing, or will sing well."
because he can't. Apparently, Kyle caught him singing along to Rick Astley in the boys' toilets and convinced him to sign up for it. And get this, when he gets on stage, pretty much everyone in our grade is gonna start booing.
You know what? Actually, I will say the Rick Astley reference in here, that makes perfect sense because, as you know, the Rick roll is a meme that has survived the test of time, and Rick Astley's music career itself has indeed survived the test of time. In fact, he performed the New Year's ceremony on BBC One this year, so or / last year and this year, if you know what I mean. But so. So that makes perfect sense as reference like in the past. Because if we assume that Music Freaks would take place in the time period in which it aired, based on like the pop culture references and the slang humor that we've talked about at length, then actually go back to their childhoods, and Rick Astley would have actually they've been as relevant example. So it makes sense.
This is very much kid coded. I can see a couple kids doing this.
Yeah, that too.
Oh
The
my
characterization
gosh,
is still on point.
so mean. I can't wait to watch that happen.
What?
It's a little bit on the nose, but you know, apart from that.
Do you know anyone else doing the talent show?
Megan and her sister are gonna do ballet or something, which is boring.
Ballet Pops.
Oh, and
Hailey is?
yeah, apparently she made a band with Luke and Xander.
When and how did you find out about that? How much time has passed?
I guess gossip goes around the town.
There was no one else around. for a show that has extras everywhere, they sure didn't emphasize that.
Now I'm even more excited.
I mean, they're excited. That's a positive.
They're excited to boo people. That's not what.
Never mind. Never
Anyway,
mind.
I'm gonna cross off Gacha logic on the bingo just because we need something on the bingo for crying out loud. Oh wait, hang on, I forgot no noses on the bingo. Yeah, that was already
They
a
have
thing.
noses when they're front facing, not when they're side facing. Depends.
Okay.
What? It's just a perspective thing. The noses are used to show a bit of perspective when they're front facing.
That has horrific in-world implications, but fair enough. I'll I'll remove that then.
Dead parents, yes.
But, oh, you're just reading the bingo stuff.
But they do have noses. What do you mean? They do have noses. Just have subtle noses.
Oh yeah, they've got small button noses.
I
It's
just
true.
won't get my timing right with you guys.
You'll be fine. Just wait for my cue and you won't mess up.
Okay.
Xander sounds a bit more nasally as a child.
Freaks. Morons.
Well, there's that rivalry is established. What? Why? What was that about? It's like she's looking at us.
People just don't like being stared at, I guess. Who knows? Who knew?
I'm not going to count that on the bingo. I could have put awful front view, but it's not awful. It's just funny. Okay.
Oh, no, it's just social anxiety. Social anxiety. All our eyes are on her.
They quite literally are. Everyone's going, eh.
Well,
Hey, Hailey? Are you okay?
it's just a manifestation and a mental manifestation
I'm
of
fine.
it. Okay, it's not actually happening in reality. She just feels everyone's eyes are on her.
I mean, is it? It could be either way because they are looking at her in both cases.
Maybe their eyes dot to her briefly, but like she mentally exaggerates it to the point where it's like, oh my god, they're all staring at me. They're all being creepy and weird and
That is a big maybe based on what we've seen on screen, though.
Yeah, it's meant to exaggerate.
Alexander Wickham and Hailey Austin.
It's not literal. Caca. I like how the neck looks swayed a little bit.
Oh, that was already. Yeah, we saw that before.
Yeah, I just like little details like that. Also, the young character designs are good.
Yeah, normally, okay, I will say in most songs, the instruments come in first, so but that's not always the case, but maybe this song, everything has to happen at once.
Well, she's probably meant to do an introduction like, hey guys, today we'll be singing whatever our song's called.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but also they just get introduced, so they don't have to.
You're about to have a panic attack. I have panic attack. Oh god, I hate how slow she ran in that.
I think we have one for, oh my goodness, sliding to DMs like. Anyway.
Listen, I relate, though. Panic attacks are not fun. Although I don't really have that bad stage fright. I have a little bit, but not too crazy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, most people have a general stage fright. It doesn't necessarily evolve into a full-blown panic attack, but people do get stage fright in this way, and this is an episode that is called Scared of the Stage, so I imagine that's what they're going for here.
I don't understand. Talk to me. Are you sick?
No, I can't do it. They're all looking at me.
Wow, Xander being nice? You wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah. You know, he's surprisingly having a flourishing episode today.
Ever since she's been afraid to stand in front of a microphone, I think she suffers pretty badly from.
I feel like she was probably afraid before then too.
Well, to be fair,
She didn't seem afraid beforehand. A lot of people, their first experience with stage fright is on the stage, fittingly, or in the moments just before it. Because actually, I remember in one of my first ever like drama clubs that I joined, that you know, everyone there, a lot of them, it was their first play. It wasn't. I think it was my first like full-blown play as well, because I've been on stage a couple of times for other reasons, but yeah. So first time for a lot of them, and everyone, and of course we were all children, so we were all very excited beforehand. We were getting like really into the characters. Sometimes like role playing was like off screen, you know, whatever. You know, got really inspired, like just all of that fun stuff. And then the moment that the play like opened up, you know, with people in dressing rooms and such, and then slowly but surely, like a few of them would be like watching by the door as people entered, and then just like there was like, my goodness, my parents just arrived, oh my goodness, like they all start like freaking out. And I think we were in like a very small black box studio as well that could house maybe like 30 people. Yeah, a lot of Spanish theaters are very small. So bear in mind, it's not like, you know, it wouldn't even been the size that Hailey dealt with, but yeah, that was enough to send a lot of everyone else into a panic. And essentially, I had to reassure a bunch of them because I was like, this is why we're here, right? Isn't it? But yeah, like, I understand that stage fright develops most of the time in the particular moment.
Awful. Which is why you can't
Sure,
just
but if it's the
expect her to
first
go
time, then
along
it
with
makes
your
the argument that
wishes.
it probably existed before then too.
If it's the first time, how could it exist before?
Maybe you don't realize that you're as insecure as you are deep down.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously.
Okay, the insecurity could exist before, but the stage fright itself, like the idea that you'd be frightened to go on the stage, Hailey clearly was not frightened to go on the stage until she was on the stage, because that's why we saw her so excited before that point.
Originally, we weren't going to
Yeah,
have a
so she
singer
was
for the
wrong. She didn't
competition
realize that she had it.
until you showed up.
Wait, we're just gonna play your
Well,
instruments
it's not
for the
okay. Well,
competition?
stage fright, I don't think is like an official condition, so that's why, you know, like it's a thing that it's like you would develop it through the actual stimulus. That's why I'm not saying people would have had stage fright before they would go on stage, because they
Wouldn't
wouldn't
it be
know.
under
That's
the
what I mean.
category of a phobia, or like be similar to a phobia? I
Right,
guess?
here's the thing, right? Because
Yeah,
like,
so you can't. So it's not like Bruce
Wayne.
Wayne realized that he had a phobia of bats before he realized, and before he was like, you know, down the well, whatever happened in whatever incarnation. It had to be that stimulus that triggered the phobia in this case. So this was the stimulus for Hailey. So she she quite literally did not have that before.
That's when he realized it. We still had it before then. Like,
You're just repeating the same thing, just in slightly different ways.
yeah. Well, yeah, because it just makes sense. I don't like.
as
How
much
would
as
you
we all would've
not
liked
have
her
it
to-
prior?
Because
you're not on stage constantly. Like, what? You've never been on stage at that point.
Well,
Or
just
in front
because
of
we
a-
if you don't
ourselves
have a
haven't
private-
had, just because us ourselves haven't had the experience doesn't mean that we don't have the subconscious experience, right? A lot of fears and stuff stem from just primal instinct.
But being on stage and being laughed at isn't actually like a sign of your physical danger. This
I'm
isn't
not
like
sure if like
this
yeah,
isn't
I'm not
like
sure
a
if
primal
actually.
fear where it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be stabbed. It's not like that. It's like more of a it's closer to an insecurity than anything, rather than a physical danger. Like, it's not like your instincts are gonna flare up purely out of being physical danger. I mean, fight or flight may activate, but that's just natural. Naturally, when your heart rate goes up and when your brain says you're in danger, not when your physical body.
Yeah, so that part
Right,
she
that's what I
maybe couldn't
that's what I just
control,
said.
But she's not. Yeah, but you're not in being on stage. But like,
But
it's
your
not
brain
in date.
registers it as being in danger. That doesn't mean it's right.
I'm actually not sure of whether or not it does register as being in danger necessarily. Danger of ridicule potentially, but does that count as like an official danger to the human brain? That part I don't actually know. But as far as like,
I mean, I guess it could be a danger to like your sanity or like your mental well-being. Said mental well-being could affect your physical well-being, because normally the more mentally ill you are, it could cause you to be physically ill, or cause you to put yourself in a situation that would get you physically
Well,
ill.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we want to get
Yeah,
technical
well,
with
so
it. I
what-
guess
yeah,
it could
like, if
stem
you're-
from like I guess it could to logically, right? I mean, I guess it could stem from the idea of like, if you weren't respected in like a primal sense, then you wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't be getting nearly as much food. You wouldn't be getting with the rest of the tribe. You could be killed, etc.
Maybe. I think what it boils down to really is that Hailey might have known that she was prone to having stage fright, but that's different. Being prone to getting stage fright would be different to having stage fright itself. That's the difference here.
Maybe. I mean, also it could be the fact of maybe she thought she could handle it, because sometimes there have been definitely situations with me where it's like, I think I can handle it, or it's like I want to do something, like heck, a lot of scary stuff. I want to do that, but I'm also prone to like a lot of fear and stuff, and like reacting to everything.
And you know that based on prior stimulus of being startled / scared by other things, which Hay did not have until this moment.
Yeah, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like something like maybe part of her was like, maybe I can handle it, you know. But like then she realized she couldn't handle it at the last moment, because when she was in front of all the eyes, you know.
Precisely, yeah.
Also, hearing the way those girls talk about like wanting to ridicule people probably would get your anxiety high, because if they're like looking for a way to ridicule you, or like, you know, which is cruel. I know kids can be cruel, but are they that cruel?
They're not usually that blatantly cruel.
Yeah, I mean I mean,
they are cruel, but they're not usually as on the nose about that. The dialogue was a little bit cartoonish in that aspect.
It's just like, yes, I want to make fun of her. I want to drink her tears.
It comes from an authentic place. It's like, everyone is going to boo. Behold my master plan. Like, yeah, that part not necessarily, but the rest of it, yeah.
I feel like we haven't met the same kids over the years, man. I feel like I've heard those exact conversations before.
I wouldn't have pushed
Also,
the
was
duet
Jake
idea
not
if I
the
knew.
same school with her, I guess? Because, like, I'm surprised he didn't know about that, because, like, you know.
If he did know about that, he wouldn't need to have a flashback for it.
Yeah, I guess they didn't go to the same school. I don't know. I guess
probably not. That's very possible.
No, it's just stuff like that isn't fully clarified. Like, it's never was fully clarified that they were at the location of each of their flashbacks. Like, we see Jake in flashbacks, and we see Hailey in flashbacks. But it's never really, both locations never are really separated enough background-wise to be like, oh yeah, no, they went to different middle schools.
If they're not separated background-wise, that may actually, for this series, that probably means they did go to the same school. They just happened to not bump into each other. Because considering that rosyclosy actually drew a number of the backgrounds used in
Wait, did she draw them? I thought she had an artist.
Yeah. She might have had an artist eventually, but at least she started off by drawing a lot of them. But regardless, what you're saying here, Aidan, both of us are saying is that the backgrounds are mostly custom. And when they've got custom backgrounds, that means that you can specify details for them. And if the details are meant to specified to be similar, that more than likely means an intentional parallel, which most likely leads to being the same school. But again, schools are big. They can have just not met.
Yeah, we know that, Jake. It's not easy for Hailey to open up about this sort of thing. But Maybe this time, if she has you by her side, she'll find the
Plus,
confidence.
depending on
know.
how
I
scheduling
mean,
goes,
that-
I know
Oh,
there's,
you're
I know
You're
there's
still
a lot
going
of
through with it? Okay. All right.
I know there's a lot of people from my school that I like see in the hallway, and I've never once spoken with people in my entire life, and I know they've always been there.
This is what I mean, yeah.
I hope she'll come around. I think the duet is a lovely idea.
I hate to admit it, but I agree. Even though you're an arrogant
The
ass,
sitting stage for
I think
chat.
you might be able to bring out that confidence in Hailey. If she does agree, and you help her to sing on stage, I'll be grateful to you.
Ah, finally.
still hate
Very
you,
much.
Look at me
Xander.
like that?
Like what?
You know
Xander hates being nice.
Way more
the
hates the
song.
idea they could be nice to Jake.
Oh my God, get
this is
over
what I
it.
was. Yeah, this is what I was thinking of last episode, particularly.
Put yourself in my shoes for just one night. Say,
Also, did you say get over it?
What?
Did you say get over it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, don't worry then.
Wow.
that you walk with the truth and feel my heartache. Don't give up on me too. When you walk in my shoes, stay in my way.
Hold on a second. I need to scroll back for a moment. I don't normally do this, but oh,
That's forward.
wireless Jake. Jeez.
Well, it's a artistic. That's part of the music number. God.
Yeah,
Part
I
of the
know.
music number.
I'm okay.
Artistic.
I'll go from
Don't
here. I
look
just
at
want
me
to
like
check. I just want to
that.
check something quickly.
Like what?
You know what?
Okay, I've checked something. There we go.
Put yourself in my shoes for just one night. Say that you walk with the truth and feel my heartache. Don't give up on me too. When you walk in my shoes, stay in my world even just for one day. Help me to love like you do, like I'm supposed to.
Oh, so it actually does. It does want to. I mean, fair enough.
I mean, part of her does, but you know, somebody should just, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like that was like the dominant part necessarily,
Feel like I
or the majority, I should say, because the dominant part's could be holding her back. But yeah.
do when I'm without you. I'm stumbling down.
I'm glad the movement isn't literal in these music news numbers, by the way, because if it were, then she would have like hit her head on the sink by this point.
She's crossfading.
Yeah, it's because she's harmonizing with herself, which does
I know, but,
slightly
like,
emphasize the problem of like the the jukebox nature of this.
Well,
but,
this
you know.
isn't literal. This is one of the non-literal ones.
Yeah, I'm also wondering like why it is that like okay, this I think might have been an actual animation mistake because you see Hailey's hair.
Oh,
in
the
back,
layering.
the center one. Yes, the layering. Yeah, I will mention that. It feels cruel to mark that off on the bingo, but so I will. I won't do that.
I'm sure we have missed some actual animation errors, though. I'm sure there.
Oh, I did ignore another one before that. I forgot what it was now. Actually,
I wouldn't say it's bad animation or editing. It's just look when you edit.
You know
like
what? It gets. I'm gonna put like it gets an asterisk.
Yeah. Look,
That's like one instance.
You animated like a 20-minute plus video. There's gonna be some issues. Heck,
Of
in
course,
Emotional
yeah.
and Angels episodes, there's some visual errors on occasion. It's like, oop, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no video's ever going to be without visual errors.
Especially the longer the video is, the more the video errors, potential visual errors are going to exist.
Yeah, the bingo can indeed be slightly cruel to certain videos, and very forgiving to others. It just depends. And yeah, this is the classic beat drop that we've got. I think most of the beat drops in these music numbers end up being something to do with the character's childhoods. I guess because of the nature of how everyone gets like their one individual episode or something, and we see just flashbacks of their entire lives. Also, I bet they're playing Rubble Explosion song in that last one. Oh, so he tried to find the music up before that.
Well, no, I think that was like when she started her band.
Yeah. Also, how's it like every single school in this universe seems to treat the music club as the freak club?
I don't know. It's just a
Like,
thing,
when did being in a
guess.
band stop being cool in this universe?
I mean, I think it's weird that anyone makes fun of it in real life.
After Rubble
apparently.
Explosion closed down. Rubble Explosion ended their tour, and then being banned stopped being cool. That's the law now.
I mean, I think bands are pretty cool.
Yeah, most people do.
Everyone else in this universe is like a freak. That's my example. That's what I'm saying. Everyone else is just a freak in this universe.
They're all projecting. They all secretly want to be musicians. the last number of season 2 is going to be the entire crowd singing like one song.
We'll meet again. Don't know where. Don't know when. We'll meet again some sunny day.
That works.
Put
I don't
yourself in
know.
my shoes for just one night stay.
I remember that song.
Right beside all the hate that comes with my pain. I judge every move.
Oh, I love this art style, by the way. This art style bit. So cool.
Sorry, what was that?
I like this art style that is in these shots. Fallen Angels.
Was that what inspired the Fallen Angels intro?
No, wait, did this come out before or after Fallen Angels? I think Fallen Angels came out before this. Or the season 2 intro.
Well, this was November 27th, 2021. I forget when season 2 intro started.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this came first. I don't know, but I just like the style in general. It's really cool. Like I had a glow effect to my outlines though, and I like the glow effect because it gives us a nice glow. But like this outline, the style is so cool. The white outline and like the solid black.
This is one of the only times I can get behind the Eyeless Freaks design, because of course you want to try and like define like the outward shape basically for the most part.
What do you mean? Let's slap a pair of googly eyes on her. I'm sure she'll look amazing.
I mean, googly eyes will be even worse than the regular eyes. If anything, I'd say this might almost be too detailed for what they're going for, because you have all the like internal lines and such, making the torso part more complex than the top half.
To survive in my head that's full of mistakes. Help me to love like you do, like I'm supposed to. Help me from feel like I do when I'm without you. I'm stumbling down.
I'm falling.
Okay, this is interesting. The two versions of Hailey are not complete mirrors of each other. One of them was actually looking up, and one was looking down before. I'm curious about that actually, because most of the time I've seen this sequence whenever this is done, it's mostly been FAFSA, granted, but it's been like complete mirror inversions. I wonder what the reasoning behind doing 2 versions was, or just because it was so powerful. She has so many different mixed experiences here that I had to portray all of them. I'm not really sure with this one.
I mean, maybe the wanted to go extra with it, instead of just having it be obviously just mirrored, like, go a little extra with the detail.
I guess, but this is also the same person who ended up becoming immediately overwhelmed with the animation and got depressed as a result of how long it was taking to make these things because it became animated.
Okay, but keep in mind, Ghosty also kind of makes things harder for herself, and then also gets depressed constantly over it. So
we do tend to point that out to her.
When you make things, sometimes certain people just make it harder for themselves, even though they get really stressed anyways. They're like, I must be perfect. Like, listen, sometimes it just doesn't need it, sometimes it's okay.
Yeah, because I'm confused about what the end goal with that with changing those
also
was.
Sometimes sometimes you just hate yourself and you're gonna go and give yourself more work.
I judge every move, or whatever the song said. Yeah, potentially dead dad. No, actually we have in fact seen Hailey's dad. That's why I mentioned Rubble Explosion. That was the name of Hailey's dad's band. I remember that because I rewatched the previous episode right before this, and a bit of episode 6.
I'm stumbling down.
This framing of this kind of implies this is the first student band competition they've actually entered as a club, despite the fact they've been together for years. Which again kind of implies they either performed songs like in other things, like different, or potentially had other gigs, or again they end up practicing a lot of things to sometimes just for themselves. Again,
I mean,
the
passionate
multiple
music.
alternatives for Jake's idea become even more so when you consider that idea.
Also, just saying as well. One thing about the previous frame that I still dislike about the series is whenever rosyclozy references like episode 1 or the earlier episodes, she immediately puts in their new designs. So basically, the old designs have been completely retconned out of existence. Like, no. Like, the designs they currently have are the canon designs. The ones in the first few episodes aren't canon. The first 4 episodes, design wise, on a technical level, aren't canon. And I find it so weird. It's like we keep seeing shots from episode 1 recreated, but it's like weird. It's weird. The new design is like, dang, it's so different looking.
Yeah,
But
you know, that kind of like relates to the thing that I most respect about the Music Freaks in general, was that it took an idea that was very much rooted in the classic eras of Gacha, because this is by no means the first Gacha musical. It's just the first to to elevate it to its natural next step, because the musical numbers in the other songs, with other productions, were again jukebox styles. They did actually have different sequences, particularly, but you know, it wasn't much more than the screenshots that they were accompanying, so to speak. With this we have, you know, all these different things with like with actually the bass drops, particularly, which tend to be avoided in other productions. They're filled in with other details. They're mostly into the characters. The visuals do get abstract, for better or worse, depending on the situation. So that's what I admire most. But it does kind of remind me that the idea of having canon designs or redesigning characters and trying to sweep the original versions under the rug is also a very classically rooted Gacha idea, except that's not a good Gacha idea. That's something that we intensely try to deviate from, especially particularly when we've actually, the rare occasion we have had to, you know, we had redesigned characters. We haven't gone and said like, oh, this is what they look like all the time. In flashbacks, we make sure to not only based on what they were wearing, to keep that in mind, because Aidan's actually done thumbnails for old Mutant God episodes that, you know, way later on, and specifically gone through and gotten the outfits even correctly, but also just the general visuals. Like Reina, for example, after her glow up, we didn't just say like, oh, that's what she always looked like. Of course, we're going to put her back in hell. No, we had a flashback and she was back to her other self. Again, not designing the characters without reason, because in universe, it makes no sense. So yeah, we've evolved from one Gacha idea, but unfortunately kept another. But I can see whether, you know, somebody who watched the old Gacha content particularly before making this would have actually got that into their heads. So I can see where it comes from, but I still don't like it. Yeah. And also Aidan had to go back during that time, so he probably didn't hear half what I just said, but never mind.
Oh, I heard. I was about to get up, but I just stayed to listen for a second.
So okay, fair enough. All right, then go ahead. Go. That was lucky. Okay, moving on. Oh yeah, I guess because she does know a bit about Jake's backstory by this point. I mean, if anything, she does actually know that he had to, you know, if he's overcoming like his own friends and such. The student bad person, they're remember seeing him on stage eventually. So if anything, he's at the very least not asking Hay to do anything that he's not prepared to undergo himself, to his very little credit.
When I carry my baggage, help me fight off my demon.
Okay, I know I mentioned the eye thing all the time, but the fact that they have the eyebrows, which are usually complementary to the eyes in terms of making an emotion, but they're all they're all like emoting anyway. You don't get that separation or just like the idea of them. You get like what they're going through. So again, yeah. Ida's extras. These aren't extras, they're main characters. Do we see any of the other like extras before this lot?
I don't know.
Did. I don't know, but this like the main group, so.
That is a perspective shot, and also a very good one. I kind of love that shot. That's sick.
Yeah, this is the kind of visual that I was like, I wish I could do more of in Gacha as like, top-down perspective. Actually, I will. Okay, I will count that because once I had extras before. So let's see where is on this one. There we go. All right. There we are. Oh, we're back here. She was kind of reaching up with the other hand, but still.
And then he gave me the most ugly neon pink sweater I've ever seen. And I was like, ew, what is
Ah, yes. I see this character shares Jay's old hatred for neon colors on Gacha characters.
this made of? Polyester?
I bet that was embarrassing. Oh, that reminds me of the time Adam thought it would be cute
Girls! Are we aware of what period this is?
Based on the board behind you, no, it's complete gibberish.
I don't know. Do you remember, Leah?
Second or third?
Psst. Leah.
I spy rozyclosy in the background. Yeah, she's frequently an extra, although being in the school is always kind of weird for her.
It's the second period.
Yeah, he's gonna obviously hear you.
You know the teacher can hear you, dumbass.
There we go.
Leah, no matter what, a gentleman is always there for a woman in need.
I guess she should have gone to him before going to Jake, honestly. She would have got more than 5 seconds of a response.
You're turning out to be more of a simp than Jake, you know?
Well, good, that's what she's into. Perfect.
Your knight in shining armor is right, Leah. It's second, which means it's not free period to talk.
I was looking at the audience for a second there. It's like, who else is talking? You. I see you there.
Go.
There's another person talking right next to her. What do you mean?
And sit over there by Hailey.
Sir, there is literally 5 minutes of the lesson left. What's the point?
The point, Leah, is for you to focus on your presentation. Considering your grade on your last piece about TikTok e-boys, you might want to use these 5 minutes more wisely. Unless you'd rather...
I don't like his hair because it's pointing in 2 different directions.
I guess a lot of people's hair parts in 2 different ways. There's usually in the middle rather than the side. I will say that is an adapted version of a Gacha hairstyle that looks better in 3/4 better than it does in front face. So I get why there's a bit of an issue.
Great. What are you so miserable about?
Why do you care?
I need gossip. I crave it. Give me something to talk about.
Don't, but your face irritates me.
You can drop the mean girl act, you know. Zoe isn't here for you to impress.
What? Don't act like you know me. And the only act
Yeah, walk a mile in my shoes, the songs you just sang before.
going on around here would be your music circus, right?
Good one.
I'm an elfin clown, and you gon' join the circus.
What now?
Oh, nothing.
I feel bad for the teacher. Seems so done with Lee and Zoe's actions. Props to the VA for their acting. A very good point. Yeah. Sometimes with like minor characters, sometimes you get VAs that give it their all, or sometimes it's just like, what on earth was that delivery? This is definitely the former.
I just find it funny how you think Jake is actually going to stay in your club and hang out with you after the competition.
What are you talking about?
What? He didn't tell you? He only joined your freak circus just to impress Daisy at the competition. He doesn't care about your dumb band.
Okay, that's fair, but he's still gonna do the competition. What that changes not many things. And again, it kind of seems like the competition needs to be like end game for them, again, to use that word. So at
What
that
do
point,
you know about why he joined? I bet you barely even know him.
I think I know him better than you. You've only been his friend for a month. Get over yourself.
You know what? I couldn't care less what you think,
longer than I
Leah.
thought.
You're not the one who will be singing on stage with him next Friday.
well, I guess she's committed to herself now. Can't turn back.
What?
She noticed. Oh no, curse you, Freudian slips.
You heard me. We're singing together. And then you can just judge how close you think we are.
Well, you clearly forced it on Jake. I bet he didn't want to sing with you.
Actually, he's the one that asked me.
Well, poor him then. I'd hate to see his face when you freeze up on stage and ruin the entire thing. You know, just like that time in middle school. That would be pretty embarrassing, wouldn't it?
God, what's your deal?
For the love of... Do I need to separate you two as well?
I mean, it's you might as well actually.
No, sir. Sorry.
Jeez, don't get mad at me for your issues.
At least I didn't turn myself into a jerk just to please others.
No, that was Xander's job.
Damn, who peed in her Cheerios?
What is that expression? Hold on. Okay, so again, I mentioned before, like, Temper Tracy versus Negative Nancy kind of thing. You know what? Whatever. Like, who peed in her Cheerios? I don't know how to process that one. I'm just gonna let that exist.
Hailey's probably upset because I pressured her about the duet. I'll apologize after class.
I mean, she did very clearly yell, "What is your deal?" to Leah, and not to you, but
Oh, hey, Jake.
Hey, was everything okay in there with Leah?
Oh, it was nothing, really.
About the duet. Oh, you go first.
I'll do it.
Wait, what?
Can't eat Cheerios.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's sing together, Jake.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, saying pause up there. Is that kind of like, is that an Easter egg? It is an Easter egg. Okay. I can't see it properly because of Restream. But part of it says, "You sure like to pay attention to the background, huh?" Then my profile is in the way, so I can't see properly. Actually, no, I'm gonna close. No, that's not gonna work. Then something about something about pushing a like button or something, probably. So I don't know. If anyone could tell me what that says in the comments or in the chats, please let me know, because I can't full screen properly right now.
Yeah, what time are we at?
I don't know. With downloaded videos, it doesn't tell you. That's why I don't like to rewind a lot of the time when people ask me to.
Xander! Luke!
I forgot to mention we still got the great audio balance because that came through one ear, not the other.
I've decided. We're gonna do the duet!
Oh, really? That's great.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Mm-hmm. I know you're worried about me, but I've changed a lot since middle school. And it's time I stopped underestimating myself. And if I have Jake by my side, I think I can do it.
Well, looks like we better get practicing, huh?
Right. Come on, guys. Let's get to work.
What? Now? Hey! Wait up!
Let's go, Xander.
Hey,
get lunch.
why are we even running? This is extremely unnecessary.
I mean, you're not running. That is barely a race walk. Don't flatter yourself. That is a run. Oh wow, okay, sure, that works. He looks so uncomfortable. That's amazing.
Okay, found it.
Found
By the
what?
way, at that time we were at 2047. Pause. Did I get your attention?
Okay.
You sure like to pay attention to your background, huh? Well, since you're here, how's your day? Cool. Hey, I know what will make it better. Hitting that shiny subscribe button and smashing the like button. And then there's 3 emojis on the bottom right.
Sounds about right. Yeah, okay. He doesn't like running. Luke found the solution. That is absolutely what I would do if I was dating someone short. Okay, you know what? I know I mostly put on the lyrics don't match thing because of like previous Music Freak stuff. But actually, even the montage song actually, the visuals complement it. It seems like rosyclosy really has learned by this point to really emphasize, like, to really embrace like what the existing music has to say, rather than the other way around. It's like how Xander's wearing the same sort of sweater one he wore when he was little. It's hidden by his jacket. Once you can see, you can't unsee it. He just hasn't grown that much, so it still fits him. Whoa! I read your notebook for 3 seconds and I love this song! Wow! Bear in mind, if her notebook is anything like mine, then Jake won't know the rhythm of the song and how it's going to match. So he's just going by, I guess, you know, the poetry of the libretto. If it's actually if it's like a composition, then that's a little bit different. Then he can probably get more of an idea. It's like that one scene, if anyone's seen Amadeus, where Salieri reads like a piece of music by Mozart for the first time. And because Salieri is really good at sight reading, he can visualize it immediately and just hear it, and the song and like the actual piece plays as the background soundtrack to it. And he's just, you know, losing his mind just while he's reading, like at that particular moment as the song increases. It's one of the great scenes of Amadeus. Watch Amadeus, the movie, by the way, if anyone's wants to. I mean, go see the play if you can too, but you know.
Music is my band-aid.
My bad day, okay. Okay, that was that. Hold on. Oh, I was gonna pause and see what's on the board, but never mind. And of course, Millie's still not down for PDA. She's worse than Kaiten in that way. Hold on. What is Oh, okay. Never mind. You were talking about like other breakfast stuff. Never mind. What's with you dissing my breakfast preferences? Whoa. Hold on. Whoa. Snap. Crackle and pop. Okay. No, I love the tiny million moments. I found my door was together, but not in a shipping way. Thank goodness for that. People acknowledge that there can be a dynamic without having to ship the two together. Because I have forgotten last episode where it's like, ah, yes, I'm doing this nice thing to you by singing a song and not letting you sing along with me, but it's even though it's about you, sure. You know, thanks for cheering me up. By the way, can I have your number? And you ruined it. It's like, we know where this is going now. You start blushing and getting flustered about why you asked, and it's like, ooh, anyway. Oh, well. His mouth is disappeared. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of strong people, poor Jake. KW's being mean to me. She's expressing an opinion about like a texture of cereal or something. Whatever. I don't know. Why are they okay? I guess that this is we're back at Hailey's house again. Why is Xander I'm like butting heads? Is that a Target uniform? Oh, right. Hold on, because that was like... This must have been around the time the Jake from State Farm video came out on Rosie's channel. That might have been reference to that. Alright, camera shutter. Interesting.
I thought that was it for a second.
Like this.
Why is the paper brown? Like, what notebook have you used? Although I do like how it almost does look like the lines are a bit more defined, actually, in the animation.
Yeah,
Not my favorite detail so far, out of all of the ones we've mentioned.
suppose it's alright. I don't know what's wrong with my version of the line.
Well, I think that completes the verse.
So you're finally
Oh, then you're just not gonna... Alright.
satisfied with it.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to singing the final version of the new song with everyone.
You know, we should totally celebrate together after the comp.
Hold on, I have to look at this. My favorite cereal, I don't like the milk. I know you meant to say Raisin Bran. That says Raisin Brain. Something has happened to me. My mind has been warped. I now have Raisin Brain. To me, Millie feels like the energetic younger sister. Luke feels like the older brother, and Shauna feels like the middle child, the calm child, not the chaotic kind. I mean, yeah. I mean, Shauna is the older one as well. Hailey did say that she considered Jake to be part of this family, so there's a bit of like a family dynamic between the different music club members, actually. Which is also, of course, why if Jake ends up being, let's just say for sake of argument, gets tricked into leaving them at some point, or gets pressured by his other friends or something, and makes the right decision in the moment, and then Hailey misunderstands that, then that's going to be all the more reason for the drama that we've been promised, of course, in these episodes. So yeah.
Competition. Order some Stacy's Mamma Mia, play some games, listen to the Jomies.
You did not just suggest the Jomies.
Oh, come on, what's wrong with them?
They're so overrated. I refuse to listen to that rubbish. And Xander...
There you go. Rubbish. Point for the UK. Cancelled out the 7th grade thing. And it is not here to relish that. All right.
would agree with me on that.
Oh,
Maybe it just has to do with like multiple writers.
Well, no, it's
and
the
you just
same
have
writer.
like two Americans.
I'm pretty sure this only has one writer, Rosie herself, who is British, but also may maybe doing what I did with Musingulp, which was like not realizing that most of the cast are American, and therefore let's change the setting just for the ease of everyone. And then for better or worse, the disparities emerged. But yeah, we have plenty of voice actor credits, but no one else is credited as a writer, so pretty sure it is just rozyclozy. Oh well.
A music connoisseur.
Hey Jake, about the competition.
Yeah?
I do still want to sing with you, but I don't know how I'll do on stage. I have pretty bad stage fright. I don't want to freeze up and ruin everything.
Oh, Luke and Santa told me all about that before. They did what?
Hey, it's okay. If you ever feel like you can't sing at any point, I'll be there to step in. You're not alone, remember?
I can sing in your key. I'll do a falsetto.
Thanks, Jake. I don't think I would be able to do this without you. Even though I'm scared. I'm really excited too.
Me too.
Careful though, Sterling. I might just surprise you and steal the spotlight.
Oh,
I guess his last name is Sterling. I completely forgot about that.
Ooh.
Also, she's leaning over, but her elbow is barely on the table right now. She's digging like she's digging the edge into herself.
Is that a challenge, Austin?
Hey, Jake.
Yeah, so it's definitely. Yeah. Hey, Caitlin. I guess they finally decide to pay him a visit. Also, why is the door open? Let me close it, don't they?
Hey guys, what are you doing here?
Just seeing what you're up to.
It's been a month and you decide to see him now? Why?
Spend an awful lot of time in here after all, and you never invite us in.
Yeah.
You don't want to be here. You made that very apparent. What are you talking about?
Why don't you show us this angelic voice of yours for once?
Ooh, is that what you're singing?
It might be.
Jake, we're sort of busy here. Remember?
Oh, yeah, right. Hey, sorry guys. I'm a little busy right now.
God, you're always busy. Haven't you rehearsed enough for this stupid competition?
Actually, we just changed the song, so we have got to start all the way from the beginning right now. So if anything, we're very behind now. What a great idea I had. I have questions. I'm going back to the bingo just to see if we missed anything. Oh, we missed tragic backstory. Dang it, that was an obvious one. There we go. There we go. Okay. But yeah, as for everything else, no. Oh, wait, hold on. We had the silhouettes from before. Shadow people. Yeah. Okay, anyways.
Did someone take a cough? I did.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
Luke and Zad explained that to me, Hailey. They did what? Santa, you're dead! I'm trying to get that reference. Any hint you get is from my street. Dante, you're dead! That's one of the quotes. I think I mentioned that in Pixelmon yesterday. Not the video, like the recording session I did.
Well, we had a change of plans, so we have new stuff to go over.
Hey guys, check this out.
You're gonna break the equipment.
Hey, get off of
I mean, it's at least gonna, you know,
that.
kind of tune.
Hey, wait. Let me join in.
This is why you don't get invited.
Jake, can
can't
you
just-
please do something about them?
Why are you so angry? The instruments are there to be played on, aren't they?
Not by the likes
They're not.
of you buffoons.
Hey, guys, you sound great, but could you please stop?
He didn't even do anything. I love he's like, I'm gonna play a soda right now.
I didn't realize this was a fun-free zone. Jeez.
What?
Is this
They're not.
what
These
you want
aren't.
with
These are serious. If these.
Yeah, I mean, this guy barely did anything. The other, you know,
That's what. Okay. Sydney
Midoriya
went-
on the other hand.
What if they went to your house and got in your video games and then just deleted your save file randomly, or just kept playing on a save file that you already have been playing on for ages? But maybe
Yeah, it's more like that. Like they make you lose or something. Like use like a streak
Yeah.
for high score or something. Yeah.
And it's like, how would you feel? Oh, but that's different. No, it's not. How is it different? It's not. You can't, and you don't own this stuff. I know, like, I'm pretty sure these instruments actually belong to the school. I mean, belong to the kids, not the school. So you're actively messing with people's property.
Really? They bring their own equipment back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, commitment.
Jake.
She probably doesn't know how to have a laugh since she's
Imagine having to get the drum set to school every single day. Wow.
so uptight all the time. I'd hate being around that.
Huh. Funny that. Maybe there's a reason I'm uptight around you jerks. Now,
And also, if you hate being around me, there's the door, which was open for some reason.
if you don't mind, get out.
Damn, we barely did anything. We're allowed to come say hi.
I mean, greenhead guy did something. The rest of you, yeah, not really, honestly.
Well, you're kind of being rude, though. You weren't being very respectful towards her.
I sense systems of the force sound effect. Someone touched its keyboard. he plays it, he knows it's out of tune, it's like, who did this?
Don't act important just because
Jack
he's your sibling.
Oh, I'm the one acting important? Everywhere you go, you reek of insecurity. Picking on others just because you think you're better than everyone.
Ah, she's gone to the insecure face, actually. So see, I guess she's quite literally facing her insecurities. Alright, I'll go with that.
You can't stand the fact that everyone else in the school is excited for the competition.
She just stops
everyone is
talking like,
excited
can you
about
please stop playing the symbols?
It actually turns out that the guy went back to the drum set. That would be amazing, because it is currently blocked from you.
Well,
so.
to be fair, this is not meant to be comedic, so can't cut the tension yet. That's for after.
Well, no, we can let the scene
with
play.
the symbols
and then
on the
after
back,
start
it's
the
kind of
tension.
hard not to find it funny.
I think it's a full drum set, but yeah.
People are going to this competition in the first place is Jake. Sweetie, don't get so cocky.
Sweetie.
You, of all people, do not get to tell me.
Guys, stop! Look, I'll hang out with you guys after school. We can catch up then, okay? So, could you leave us?
Jake was me in equivalent of third grade, when my two best friends hated each other.
Fine. Whatever.
Yeah, for like the entire year. Honestly, I want to recapture that at some point as like a dynamic in like a I don't know, whatever production somewhere.
Have fun with little Miss Uptight.
She's not that uptight. She's a little uptight, but not that uptight.
Well, see you later then, Jake. Enjoy your alone time.
Oh my god, I thought you hated her. Why would you even ship on it? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you even... What? Seems stupid. Don't ship me with someone that you hate. That's weird. Why would you want that?
But you see, boy and girl spending time together. They must be a couple. My two best friends hate each other too. It wasn't pretty. It kind of looked like this too, with the side picking. Yeah, exactly. Or like one of them tries to make you feel bad for hanging with the other or something. But yeah.
Well, that was mega awkward.
Hailey,
No, I get it, Jake. They're your friends. I'll just put up with their harassment.
No.
That's not what happened. He actually got them to go away, like you asked him to. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying that. You shouldn't have to. Look, I'll go tell them not to come by.
Like Drew's hair magenta / pink, someone connected to the red, so he say that Drew is the walking red flag. Poor Drew Bear.
Bother sitting here again.
Yeah, not in here, just everywhere else in the school.
Well, what do you
Yeah, he can't avoid that.
want me to do?
I don't know, Jake. Maybe tell them to stop bothering us, period? Or maybe you really do think this is just some stupid competition. Also, you can go back to being a jerk with them and date Daisy.
I don't think... Wait. What? Who told you that?
Of course, the Daisy part is the part that gets her, or that gets him actually to react. Which I think means I can cross this one off the list.
Doesn't matter. So is it true then? That all of this was for you to win Daisy over? And then quit?
No! I mean... Yeah... Maybe at...
This is always the, oh yeah, at first, and then it's like, I don't want to hear it. Goodbye, Jake. May I never see your face again.
But I'm also doing it for us now. I wouldn't have asked you to sing with me if that wasn't the case.
And
Yeah, because that actually would not benefit him in any way to do that.
then what? You'll stay? Or does everything just go back to how it was before?
Of course it won't. I could never treat you guys like that again, but... I don't know, I mean... It's not a big deal if I quit the club after, right? The whole point of this was...
So he was considering it. Okay.
the competition. Let's just forget about all this and focus on that.
It's a big deal to me.
See, someone's thinking about after the competition. Again, finally acknowledge that it's not the be all and end all. I almost said end game again, but I can't. That word's been ruined now.
Hailey, come on!
Sooner or later, Jake, you'll have to decide for yourself. Not me, not Drew, but you.
Yeah, he apparently did decide. He just told you what his decision was. Well, there's the drama you promised. Oh, I guess we're not getting an announcement at the end. Alright. Oh, that was the logo. I haven't heard this part of the music before. It's weird there wasn't like an announcement at the end or something. Normally there is. But okay, that was the Music Freaks episode 8. Oh, and conveniently enough, here's the here's the thing again. All the lyrics match this time, so nope. Bible of interest, not anymore with Jake. So I think that's that. Not even skips details because of the flashback we mentioned before. Even if like the start of the details, I was like, okay, might be a little bit iffy, but you know, I can see why. It's just I probably would have gone in a slightly different direction. Oh, that's right. Episodes over with the pinned comments. That's true. Josh did send me a pinned comment from the video itself to bring up. So actually, BB, why don't we have your pros and cons to start off with while I fetch that from Josh?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be honest, all the episodes are kind of starting to blur together now, is what I'm realizing. I feel like a lot of them are kind of falling in the same beats. They're all kind of feeling a little more samey. I mean, you know, I mean, animation's always good. The plot line's not necessarily bad at this point still. The background, always gotta love those little Easter eggs. Voice acting pretty decent. That's about it though, you know. I just feel like it's, I don't know. I want them to spice something up next time. That's what I want.
Okay. Well, I mean, we are approaching the finale, so I suppose. Yeah, I think episodes 10, 11 were just like one episode, but they were split, so that's the finale. But episode 9 is definitely going to build up towards that. So I think I'm going to get your wish fairly soon. But yeah, as for me, what you're saying before about like, you know, how they're seeming much more semi, that could actually be almost an advantage in a way, because considering how far apart these episodes came out, it's my understanding they're written fairly close together, and if anything, that makes like a rewatch of it very easy for people because they can continuously go from one to the other. It makes it very good for binge watching, which, you know, for an online series is perfect because, you know, that's kind of how people would be able to consume those once all the episodes are indeed out. It's not a case of like, you know, being uploaded like once a week or something and tuning in like in the olden days. So yeah, I think that could work. Although then again, we did just get back from an outing into back into the school again, which seemed like it was like a breath of fresh air or a setting change, or at least it was supposed to be anyway. Even though it didn't exactly feel like it was too different because all they did was go to the mall and we saw Hailey's house and then also Sean and Daisy in that one bit. So yeah, I don't really know. But yeah, this one actually, as far as the drama that we were promised, we did get that. I don't know if it's say more or less drama than before. It just, if anything, I'd say it's kind of on the same level as most of other stuff. It's just that Hailey's drama seemed to be a bit more continuous because it was kind of built up in the last episode, unlike everyone else's job, which was more like an episodic thing. And because he's so connected to Jake right now, that's why it might feel a bit more intense, but actually it is kind of like the similar levels. Although I suppose Jake getting personally entangled, having a part of it be about him might amplify it a little bit. So maybe there's that. But yeah, as for the rest of it, I think this one, this one's up there for me as far as the details go, as far as the visuals, and I don't know about the story necessarily. Again, on the same level. But yeah, I get in this one, like the music sequence, I wasn't like questioning my existence a lot of the time. You know, we had that wonderful perspective shot. We have not only the small details we normally have, but we also have like the tiny things like the writing on the paper from later on after the music video. So rozyclozy is really very much in her stride at this point. And I guess that's very nice to see, especially with the fact that the show has very clearly stayed along the same intention it had originally. Could it have done with a few a few rewrites and a few redrafts of some of those ideas? Yes, definitely so. Were there like a couple of awkward animation bits? Yes, but also, you know, there's the longest episode, so the fact that it is a testament to its existence. And I think Aidan just came back right now, so
What are we saying?
We're saying pros and cons right now. So
okay, so I was in and out of the episode, obviously, but I've seen this episode like twice or 3 times total.
I was gonna say you've seen it before, so
yeah, I liked this episode, and I get Hailey's issue with Drew, and I kind of get why she feels like Drake doesn't really defend her, which he doesn't harshly defend her. He just kind of lightly defends her, tries to.
Yeah, he actively diffuses the situation and complies with what she asked him to do in that moment.
Yeah, but I also get her feeling kind of upset that he still talks to them even though they are super mean to her and her friends for no justifiable reason. I also do kind of get why she would be extremely upset about that.
Potentially. I forgot to mention as well, actually, from another pros and cons for me, is that Xander surprisingly had a point a lot of the time this episode.
Yeah, I mean,
not only was he right in many situations, but he actually came across as like the more level-headed, better person than some of the others, which is bizarre. But hey, if we're due for liking Xander for something, then at least that effort or at least that conversion is appreciated. And he does say he might extend like a bit of a laurel to Jake, so to speak, if he helps Hailey out. Forget the fact he's helped like every other person in the club, including Xander at this point. You know, help Hailey. That's the important person in this situation. But we see you, Xander. But at the same time, you know, again, it's better than whatever he's been doing so far, at the very least.
I mean, Xander still just comes off as like a very bitter person most of the time. I don't know. I just don't like Xander, even if there are brief moments where he makes sense and is a all right person.
Yeah, I'm not suddenly fond of him or anything.
Yeah, just I don't think Xander as a character for me. Like, you have to do like a lot of legwork and a lot of like actively showing that he's trying to
I say
it.
that I say that he's better. If his quality was down here, he's now up to like here or something, where the bar is like normally up there. I don't know. So it's technically better, but still not that good. It's kind of like when Sylvana has like a few moments of like wisdom and clarity, and they're like, yes, that's like an actual parent. You know, those situations we appreciate, but overall, you know, when you measure everything up together, still not a good look. So yeah, I suppose that's that. But actually, also, I guess the last thing is the pinned comments that Josh mentioned. Here it is. So I want to quickly cut out the ending for some of those who might have misunderstood. Sooner or later, Jake, you'll have to decide for yourself. What Hailey is referring to here is Jake staying or leaving the club, not choosing friends / a side. In context, it's only about Jake thinking of quitting after the competition due to pressure, which she's upset by. I mean, the way that Jake phrased it was that he's like, oh, what does it matter if I quit the club afterwards? It's not like, if anything, the friends impression to quit afterwards, They could have pressured him not to join. That just didn't happen. So what? Anyway, Hailey isn't telling him to choose between her and Drew. She's telling him that neither is just a dictator until the stage has to leave. That's all. That kind of seems like people responded to this and thought that Hailey was trying to be like a, oh, it's it's them or me situation. Which if anyone ever does that, they always come up as the worst person in that scenario of making the person choose in the first place. So that's probably why we've got to make sure that Hailey is the person in the right here, because otherwise,
I mean, to be fair,
otherwise our obvious couple doesn't work.
Drew at certain points does kind of do that though, too. So they both kind of do it. It's actually not mutual. It's extremely mutual that they're both telling them to choose. You see a lot next episode because like it's been a bit since we actually seen like heavy interaction between Drew and Jake. And like that whole group, like it's been a while since we have heavy thing.
Yeah, which is kind of Drew's point actually, because they never hang out together anymore, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but we get a lot of that next episode in particular with a handful of scenes, and we actually get like a lot more of like the other side, even though the other side is clearly meant to be in the wrong, which valid, but still, like dang.
Yeah. Yeah, so but I guess back to this, even if Hailey is only referring to him leaving or joining the club, well, or staying in the club, I mean, he still very much laid out what he wanted in that particular moment, and the fact that he was no longer doing it for just for selfish gain. So really, it seems like she's understandably upset that she potentially might be losing a friend who now she considers part of like the family and such. But she's kind of projecting that a little bit onto Jake in a still pretty unfair way, especially because Jake is caught in the middle of this, very much so. And well, I say that that's the reason for it. We obviously know as well that she mentioned dating Daisy and Jake reacted to that for a very specific reason. But if we take that aspect out, it still works narratively, but it kind of is like, the more that you emphasize it, the more it's like, that's really what's going on.
Well, I mean,
it's still unfair to Jake in that situation, even
especially
more
this
so.
being brought up now is very important because as the next, especially counting the next 3 episodes, the conflict between Jake's old friends and his new friends heats up, and it lights a fire under his butt, basically.
Okay.
I mean, let's be honest. We all know if Jake does have to make a choice, we all know he's gonna choose. Like, let's not even pretend like it's like a mystery. Like, it's kind of obvious.
Well, it kind of goes back to what we said at the beginning of the stream, actually, when we're talking about like endgame couples and such in shows, and how yeah, the reason that some of them works as like an obvious endgame pairing is most of the time when there's no other pairings involved, but when you actually see the build up behind that and how they get together, because the story aspect of it, this phrase like is not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's kind of like that essentially. The journey is what people will be invested in as it is progressing, even if they know how it's going to end because they've seen the story archetype a million times before. So I guess it all depends on how they handle that drama.
I think as a whole, the season and the way the drama is,
that's great. That's great that you have opinions on that matter.
No,
but we're not there yet. We're gonna save them.
I'm just saying, I think it's handled decently, but also a lot of it makes me uncomfortable because I get uncomfortable with this kind of subject matter.
All right. Well, there sure is an option that we could go
about that. While I when we get around to viewing the next episode, probably another month or so, based on how frequently we do these.
I mean, I'm available Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, okay. Well, Thursday's not an option. We already know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably actually I may be available next Monday.
Yeah.
I may be in. I'm pretty sure I'm 99% sure I'm available next Monday. So
yeah, okay, we can probably. Well, we can probably do like next Monday, because also Thursday's not an option for us in general.
Yeah.
But also Wednesday, I'm pretty sure is another Alan Wake stream again. Unless I'm mistaken. You're usually there for those.
Are we doing an Alan Wake stream, BB?
Of course we are.
Okay, cool.
There we go. Okay, so I guess in a week's time we shall return to the Music Freaks. But before that, of course, sometime during the next week, I will cover episode 9 of FAFSA, because I guess we're going back to the musicals again. It's going to be my passion after that, so we're going to go in that order for some reason. Okay, we'll do that then. But of course, for now, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. And subscribe to us already. And on that note, until next time,